Hello, good evening, and you're very welcome to Talking Dogs TV with myself, Barry Caul. We are live here tonight from Shelbourne Park, where our feature race is, of course, the 2021 Shelbourne Puppy Oaks. But if you're a regular viewer to the show, you know that we're straight into the action, and that's no change tonight. So dogs are ready to go for our first race, 7:01, so straight over to Ian Fortune. Good evening, Ian.
Yeah, thanks, Barry. Good to have you on board. Doing a great job already. First 20 seconds were absolutely nailed on. We're looking ahead to the opening race in the card here at Shelbourne Park, and I can tell you that, as you can see, they are going behind boxes. It is the Welcome to Shelbourne Park A2525. Last one going in will be Trap 6, Daria Jacks. Claims can be made for a number of these. The lightly raced Hogmanay out in Trap 5 did show pace last time out. He'd be a big player. So too will one Wishful Dean, and of course Graham Holland with a runner in Trap 2, Nitro Hero. Can't be ruled out. He's won 3 of his 6 starts. They're all in boxes. And so racing about to commence here at Shelbourne Park. This opening contest: 1 Wishful Dean, 2 Nitro Hero, 3 Manalishi Chief, 4 Square Penny, 5 Hogmanay, and 6 is Daria Jacks. The hare up behind traps. Racing, good start by Trap 2, Nitro Chief now. Going up strongly in the middle is Trap 3, Manalishi Chief onto the corner, and it's 2 Nitro Hero from 3. Manalishi Chief on their heels is 5 Hogmanay and 6 Daria Jacks up the inside. But out front and 2 Nitro Hero has moved on by 3-4 lengths. 4 showing big pace. Square Penny into second spot. Then comes 6 Daria Jacks, but it's 2 Nitro Chief. But in his wing mirrors, here comes 4 Square Penny up the inside. Off the final turn, and Square Penny makes a decisive move. Goes on, wins by 3. 2 in second, 2 Nitro Hero. Hogmanay back in third. The winning time 28.95. Square Penny coming in as a reserve to win in fine style for Take a Chance Syndicate and Liam Comerford, and again that winning time 28.95.
Yes, well, this one comes in as a late reserve, as Ian had said. Square Penny replaced Bruno for Liam Comerford. Hadn't got a great strike rate coming into it, just the 2 wins, but as you can see, she completely missed the start. Good 5 or 6 lengths off them heading into the first bend, and she looked to have an uphill task from then. Nitro Hero for Graham Holland set the pace. He had been leading in a couple of races around Limerick and Clonmel, and stamina is not his strong point. But you see now here, Square Penny making a decent move up the inside rail, and she was always going to have a big chance here as it turned off the final bend. Up the inside, she stays on strongly. As I say, 2 just fading back in second place, but holds on for that. 5 back in third. The winning time 28.95. So, if you had come to me a bit earlier, I actually would have had a TriCast on that race there, but look, we were just a little bit short on time. That one would have been a big price now on the tote. As I say, only had 2 wins from 20 odd starts. Ian, you've seen this replay. Wasn't more of a likely one, I suppose, but as you can see, a good 6 lengths off them into the back straight, and she looked to have a forlorn hope here now as they head down the back straight. Still, as they head into the third bend in, you still thought she had a bit to do?
Yeah, as you said, never in doubt. Yeah, obviously she caught me out down into the third bend. She showed unbelievable pace up the inside. In fairness, got a lovely run along the fence, but once getting there, you were just concerned the pace she had shown, that she might get it tied up with the leaders. Maybe that was the reason she was showing the pace she was, but straight by, ran clear into the escape. And amazing that 22 or 23 races into her career, she hasn't stepped up in trip. That'd be one to keep an eye on, perhaps, if she does go over 6 bends in the near future. But as you said, left herself with plenty of work to do, but certainly had the gears to get there. 28.95. If she started on terms, I know it's probably not in her makeup, she could have gone considerably faster.
Indeed, yeah, she's definitely one to keep an eye on. As I say, strike rate not great, but she is one to keep an eye on. Now, it's been a very busy time for the Greyhound community over the last 3 or 4 weeks. We've had a couple of classics. Of course, we've had the Shelbourne 600 here recently. We've had the Select Stakes, and of course the Con and Annie Kirby. But who can forget the 600 run here a couple of weeks ago? And we're going to have a look at the replay of that race now. And I'm afraid for connections of Perno, if you are looking in, I'm sorry we have to show this. Let's have a look at this.
And away they go. Perno's well away again, as is Ballymac Wild. One Razzle Dazzle Peaky slow. Billy's Diva getting into gear, and Beach Avenue is going to turn fourth around the opening 2 bends, but he's got a lot of work to do, because off the second bend, and it's Perno who is setting the gallop. Billy's Diva's going in chase, as is 3 Ballymac Wild, and Beach Avenue is starting to stay on, but he still has a mountain to climb around the top 2 bends, and this is where Ballymac Wild is challenging Perno. It's Ballymac Wild, Perno, Beach Avenue down the outside. Perno, Ballymac Wild, Beach Avenue from the clouds. What a finish to the big one. A 3-way photo finish between Ballymac Wild on the in the inside, in the middle of...
Yeah, you could watch that race over and over again if you weren't involved with connections of 4 and 6, I suppose. It was a cracking race. You hear take it from trap race. Pierno, as expected, flew out from the middle and led up. He showed really, really good early pace, and he made himself clear into the first bend, 2 lengths clear. Beach Avenue, not the strongest early pace, and he didn't run the first bend great, just swung off it as they head into back straight. He's 6-7 off them. But Pierno setting a strong gallop up front. Ballymac and Billy's Diva fighting out second place. Here's where Ballymac, that's a decisive move there to just get second. Good track craft. He went from the outside of Billy's Diva to the inside of Pierno, up the home straight. Pierno, in fairness to him, stayed on very strongly, but just done in the last couple of yards, and the Dowlings get up to win. Ian, back here a while ago, College Causeway got up to beat Ballymac Penske on the last stride. I think Ballymac Penske might have led for 599 yards of that trip, and College Causeway just nailed it, so it was good for them to get revenge.
Yeah, it sure was. God, you're going back a few years now, all the same. That's, that's 10 or 12 years ago. Yeah, Pierno obviously did show great early dash. He was a dog that improved through the stake. He really did seem to relish the long run to the corner. He did a 5.82 sectional, which, listen, in all the times of that they have that sectional clock in, I can't remember anything really going that fast for the 600 yards, and really burnt them off into the third bend. But Ballymac Wild, once getting the better of Billy's Diva, was always in the best pitch. Obviously Beach Avenue had thrown away his chances in the opening corner. He ran the most remarkable race in defeat, but it really is one of those classic finals that we'll be talking about in years to come. An absolutely epic encounter, and in the end, Ballymac Wild, I was happy, I must say, because I had it back to 12-1 each way prior to the semi-finals. I just thought he was being a bit underestimated, and when you consider the year he had last year. But a really epic final, and yeah, it's hard to believe it was already a couple of weeks ago now, but yeah, really great to look back on it.
Yeah, it was indeed a cracking final. As you well know yourself, some of the best races around Shelbourne Park have been run over the 600 yard distance. We also had the final of the Con and Annie Kirby come to a conclusion last Saturday night. Another fascinating contest, really captured the imagination of all involved from round one. Let's take a look back at how they got on last week.
The Kirby final is underway. One Agent Stanley is away well in the red jacket. Ballymac Merlin going okay. Stone Park Leo on the outside. There's trouble at the opening couple of turns, and up front it's Agent Stanley by a length that leads from Stone Park Leo as they head towards the penultimate bend in the Kirby final of 2021. And Stone Park Leo in the stripes leads by a length from Agent Stanley. In third is the Machine Trap 2. Off the final bend, Stone Park Leo is leading them home towards the line and wins the Kirby. Stone Park Leo has won it for Michael O'Dwyer of Ballyneety, County Limerick, trained in Tipperary by Mark O'Donovan and representing Castletown Ballygran. The time 28:38.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful final. Ian, myself and yourself and Tommy Lyons spoke about this on Monday on the Talking Dogs podcast. Once if you can see the start again, Stone Park Leo, he's actually stone last there, a half a length off the fifth dog, and how he gets around from the outside there across to track Agent Stanley into the back straight, we'll never know.
Yeah, as they were all buckling for position on the inside, there was a lot of shoulder rubbing going on, but obviously Stone Park Leo has improved with each and every outing through his career. Showed great pace up around the outside. Turned second, and then, Agent Stanley left the door open for him off the second bend, but he still needed to have the pace to get there. He got first run at Agent Stanley, and thankfully he did, because the Machine was absolutely closing fast into second spot. We'll be seeing him soon, of course, around Toaster, but a fantastic display from Stone Park Leo. And what the future holds, well, nobody knows, because we don't really know how much he can improve. There was only, he's still well shy of his 10th race, so plenty of opportunities for him to come in the future. I'm sure Mark O'Donovan and Michael O'Dwyer will have a plan, and I'm really looking forward to see where he goes, and perhaps the Produce Stakes, but we'll find out in the next week or two, I'm sure.
Yeah, a lot of them will probably go for the Produce Stakes, and as you say, a couple of big runs in behind with the Machine and also Agent Stanley for 42-year-old trainer Des Gilbert. Now, I'm nervous tonight making my debut with another lady who's no butterflies at all whatsoever, and she had a runner in that Kirby final last week, is Emma Buckley, and she's reporting from us live from Limerick this evening. So Emma, welcome to the show. Give us your thoughts on the Kirby. You had Sing-Along Sally in the race. How did she come out of it, Emma?
Thanks a million, Barry. It's great to be here in Limerick tonight, of course. I can't believe I'm part of the team, really. It's very, very exciting, but Sing-Along Sally came out very well. She's unfortunately on the sidelines for a little bit because she split her web. She came out very well, but it was just Stone Park Leo's night. You know, he had the ideal draw. What a buckle it was between himself and Agent Stanley, and it definitely ended up being a little bit of a tough run up to that first corner. But what a historic moment it was for young trainer Mark O'Donovan. It was definitely a deserving win, and delighted to see them bring home such a historic competition, but delighted for Mark and Stone Park Leo. A big future ahead. I'm sure some of these will be heading to Toaster also. Sally, although wasn't too happy that I was heading to a track without her this evening.
Yes, Emma, I'm sure there'll be bigger and better days ahead for Sing Along Sally, have no doubt. Dogs now are just about to go on parade for our second race, so let's join Ian to see the runners.
Yeah, just in the infield as we speak, but this next contest worth looking forward to. An A2 Barky Buzz App 525. I dare say it won't be won in A2 time. Shelbourne Park has been running well in recent weeks, and you saw that opening race where the winner, Square Penny, gave the leaders probably a 10 or 12 length head start and won in 28.95. So track is obviously going well. The one of note in this contest is probably Trap 6 Billis Tudor. 4 starts and it's only the one win, but that came on debut at 21.18 around Dundalk. Did show promise in defeat last week. I'm not too concerned by the wide draw. I think if it does trap on terms, it should have the early pace to get around its rivals, and that, well, by all accounts, should be doing better than an A2 time. Barry, they're just a moment or two away from this next race. If you just want to give your brief thoughts yourself.
Yes, Ian, we'll have a look at a couple of runners in more detail shortly, but as you say, yeah, Billy's Tudor, that debut run 21.18, that remains the fastest time of the year so far down in Dundalk, and for that sort of a run to come on debut, it's really is exceptional. He sort of stumbled ever so slightly, as did I there trying to say that. He stumbled ever so slightly once he came out boxes here last week and did move slightly wide, so although he's an inside seed, Trap 6 may just suit him. It'd be interesting to see how he gets on. He does obviously have a lot of early pace, obviously with that 21.18 run, but they're on parade now, Ian, so I'll pass it over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Barry. Runners now on parade for the second race here tonight, the Barking Buzz App A2525. 1 Piercestown Kiwi for Gary Dempsey and Shanks Whelan, a son of Ballymac Esky and Piercestown Molly's won 6 of his 18 starts. Good early speed, draw in his favour too. Cabra Luna, owned by Paddy Scally, a daughter of Good News and Cabra Ebony, certainly bred to be quick. She's shown promise around Thurles, Kilkenny and here at Shelbourne Park. In 3, Hollywell Samba, Mary Gilbert for Alison Coxon, remains a maiden, a daughter of Ballymac Best and Ballydoyle Honey, so certainly bred to be special. 4 is Town Mouse for Sean Dooley, a daughter of Skywalker Puma Lillian, now a veteran at this stage. She's won 10 times from 64 outings. 5, Lord Rusty for Tommy Woods, a son of Droopy's Roddick and Dreams of Ina. Not the most prolific, but has some good form here at Shelbourne Park. A draw against him. And 6 is Billis Tudor, the lightly raced runner with only 4 starts, owned by the House of Tudor Syndicate, trained by Graham Holland, son of Droopy's Roddick and Mustang Jill. He showed enough in defeat last week to suggest he's be a big player in, well, certainly this type of contest, and indeed in better contests in the future. It's the second race in the card, the Barking Buzz App A2525. Back to you, Barry.
Thanks, Ian. Yeah, we're just going to have a look at a couple of these in a little bit more detail, starting off at Trap 1, Piercestown Kiwi. This fella, 33% strike rate. He's been placed in 13 of his 18 starts, and he hasn't been out of the first 3 since October 2020. He's had 9 starts since then, and he's led in 4 of his last 5.25s, so he's a good chance to lead up the inside. A couple of recent sections of 2.04, 2.08 should see him lead up the inside, and he could have a decent chance. He's currently a 9-2 chance on the Betdaq exchange. The next one we're going to look at is Trap number 4. She certainly deserves a mention. Town Mouse, approaching her 5th birthday this September. She's already racked up over €8,000 in prize money. She's been placed in 38 of her 64 starts. She's won at 5 different tracks and over a couple of different distances. She hasn't had a race since August of last year, but she was previously top grade. This is a slight drop back down to A2. And the last one we're going to have a look at is out in Trap 6. Currently your 8-11 favourite, Billy's Tudor, for the House of Tudor Syndicate, trained by Graham Holland, the son of Droopy's Roddick and Mustang Jill. As we alluded to earlier on, 21.18 on his debut in Dundalk, which remains the fastest time of the year so far. He was thought good enough to contest Lee Conn and Annie Kirby, but he'd no luck in that. And again, luck wasn't on his side here last week when he made his second start around Shelbourne Park. Stumbled slightly when he came out of boxes, but he does have huge early pace, and a repeat performance of his run last week should see him in the shake-up. I expect a little bit of improvement, and at 8-11 I still rate he's a bit of value. Ian, they're about to head the traps. Give us your thoughts.
Yeah, I'd be the same sort of line of thought as yourself, Barry. Billis Tudor, if he does trap on terms, and obviously he hasn't drawn in trap 6 in the past. He raced from trap 5 here April 16th, did miss the kick on that occasion, but that experience should really stand to him. And by all accounts, in August 19, Whelp having just his 5th start, he's open to plenty of improvement. Certainly in the right kennel. Graham Holland at the helm, so if he does hit the lids, I think he'll be hard to beat. One Piercestown Kiwi for me is the threat. He's a dog with good early speed. Well, as you can see, the runners in traps now for the second race here at Shelbourne. 1 Piercestown Kiwi, 2 Cabra Luna, in 3 Hollywell Samba, 4 is Town Mouse, 5 Lord Rusty, and 6 is Billis Tudor. The hare up behind traps. And racing, slow start by 6 Billis Tudor, 5 goes up well, Lord Rusty for cuts for the inside, and 6 Billis Tudor arrives on the outside, great early dash, gets to the corner, 1 and 2nd Piercestown Kiwi edges off, gives 5s a bump to Lord Rusty, and they're conspiring in behind to allow 6 Billis Tudor go a mile clear too. Cabra Luna showing pace to challenge for 2nd, indeed she goes 2nd on the 3rd bend, but forget about catching the leader. Billis Tudor, he missed the kick, but he raced to the front into the bend and goes on to win by quite a bit. In 2nd is 2 Cabra Luna, 3rd is 3 Hollywell Samba. The winning time 28.89. He did leave some ground on the track, however he'll improve for that again. A fine run by Billis Tudor in 28.89. Well done to the House of Tudor Syndicate and Graham Holland.
Yes, Ian, a good performance there, and I think the House of Tudor Syndicate could do it buying Tommy Woods, the owner, trap 5 a point. Dived left after Billy Tudor was left at boxes, and it really gave him all the room in the world to pace up on the outside. As we know, he has some great early pace. More trouble in behind, 5 craving the inside, and as he went down the back straight, the race is as good as over. He's now 10 lengths clear into the 3rd bend. Trap 2 runs on well for 2nd, as she normally does, Cabra Luna, but the winner is gone. He's still 10-12 lengths clear, a little bit wide off the home straight, but never in any danger. He goes on to win in 28.89 and doubles his career tally. A good performance. Good performance, Ian. He certainly didn't come out of traps last week. Shades of Stone Park Leo. He really did miss the kick, but he's great pace up on the outside, and 5 really did give him a hand.
Yeah, very much so. 6 obviously missed the kick again. Bit of a concern if he's drawn out wide, but as you said, trap 5 Lord Rusty, we've seen enough of him to know that he wants the inside. I sort of intimated that when we were talking about it beforehand, but 6th Billis Tudor still had to show the pace to get up around the outside, and thereafter the remaining 5 are just getting in each other's way. Trap 2 Cabra Luna, she's after running a big race in 2nd spot. She had to go through the pack to grab 2nd on that 3rd bend, and she raced on to win, or to finish 2nd, a comfortable 2nd in fact. But trap 6 Billis Tudor, I've no doubt he'll go on to bigger and better things in the future. He'll certainly go faster. He gave them 2 or 3 lengths at the start, so 28.89, take 20 off that. It's a 28.69 run. I'm sure there's a 28.40 or 50 in him in the near future, and who knows, with a bit more experience and a bit more development, he could go considerably faster. Certainly one to keep in the notebook, Barry.
Yes, he is indeed, and certainly a promising type. Now, I've got a couple of non-runners and weight variations for you. I'll get them to you shortly, but I'm going to hand us on down to Limerick. Emma, you take it up for us down there, please.
I am joined by a trainer who definitely in form, Pat Guilfoyle. Pat, you have a runner going in the 3rd heat tonight, Magical Poppy in trap 3. Tell us, how has she been all week?
Oh, she's been good, yeah, she's fine. She's a very young bitch. She's out of her depth in the Limerick Oaks, but she's that great anyway, so we said we put her into it. If she does happen to get beat tonight, she goes back to A1, so we've no expectations for her.
She could definitely surprise you. Cabra Angel won it for you back in 2018. How does this lady compare to the likes of Cabra Angel?
It's kind of hard to compare at the moment because the Angel was such a kind of a seasoned campaigner at that stage and had much more experience, so Poppy is only a very young bitch, kind of trying to get experience for her, so kind of place her here, there and everywhere, so she kind of gets to learn her trade, and she's very much in that transition period from pup to established race dog at the moment, so.
Conditions definitely aren't ideal here tonight. How do you think she's going to handle that? Because she could very easily lead to that first turn.
Yeah, I think she'll handle it fine enough, so she was, we reared her ourselves, so she's used to all kinds of conditions. She's tough,
Great stuff. Of course, you were here last week with Explosive Boy. Tell us, how has he came out of that Kirby, because it was a bit of a tussle down to that first turn, wasn't it?
It was the kind of race we feared, but we weren't surprised. We kind of felt we didn't have a good feeling about the race, to be honest. And it's easy to say that in hindsight, but we genuinely didn't. So we had, but look, he's come out of it fine. He's grand. He's done very little this week, just in and out empty, and freshen him up a bit again. Like, but he's in great form. He's ready to go again. So we'll plan something over the next couple of weeks with him and see. You know.
Brilliant, great stuff, Pat. Best of luck tonight.
Thanks very much, Emma. Thank you.
Pat Guilfoyle certainly has a nice kennel of dogs to look forward to this year. He also has a strong hand in the Mullingar Cesaro, which started on Monday. We'll be looking back at those heats later on in the programme. Now we're just going to give you a bit of housekeeping here, just a couple of weight variations and reserves later on in the card. So Shelbourne Park in their 5th race, Trap 3 is a non-runner, and he's going to be replaced by Reserve I, which is Tradesman for Declan McDonough. That's in the 5th race. Then on to race number 8. Trap 3 is a non-runner, no reserve in race number 8, and a couple of changes in race number 9, where traps 4 and 5 are both non-runners, Swords Duke and Noal Nick, and they will be replaced by, in trap 4, reserve W for Wednesday, which is Ballydoyle Rossa, and in trap 5 we have reserve X, Glen Corby Duke. Then on to the 11th race, trap 5 is a non-runner, and that will be replaced by reserve K, which is, if you bear with me 1 second, apologies, reserve K is, it slipped me. I'll get reserve K to you in a moment, but don't have it in front of me. As regards weight variations, nothing really significant. Race 5, trap 1 is down 3. Myself, I'm probably +2, and our commentator Ian Fortune is probably level. Okay, so next race here in Shelbourne is race 3. It's the www.griireland.ie A1525, and I'll give you a quick betting show down the card. Cost Boss is 4-1. Awesome Blue next in at 9-2 with Domestic Arrow. 9-2 Cabra Dawn. Favourite for Graham Holland, Malog Stormzy is 5-4, and Witches Dallas out in trap 6 is your 5-2 second favourite. Ian, just give us your quick thoughts on this race, and then we'll have a chat about the big one later on this evening.
I suppose Malak Stormzy is the dog that has the profile that he could improve a bit further. He's only the 10 start. He's won 3 occasions, and the fact that they brought him down to Limerick for the Kirby suggests they think a bit of him. I think Cost Boss is a bit of an accident waiting to happen. Has run well here at Shelbourne Park in recent weeks. On its best Newbridge form, would certainly be a player and is well housed on the fence.
Yeah, thank you, Ian. So as we have said earlier on, it really is ladies taking centre stage here this evening. We have 6 of Ireland's best young ladies in the final of the Puppy Oaks, and we also have 24 of Ireland's best all-age ladies down in Limerick for the Oaks. And it really is a weekend for the ladies. We have Rachel Blackmore and Honeysuckle were marvellous yesterday. Again this evening, Katie Taylor puts it all on the line against Natasha Jonas, and tomorrow we have the Guineas. So it really is a great time for the ladies. Hairdressers are reopening, as are the golf courses, so you can ship your husband off for a couple of hours as well. So, as I say, dogs are out on parade for race number 3. For what it's worth, I'm going to side with Ian here in trap 5, Malog Stormzy for Graham Holland, son of Droopy's Roddick and Emer's Poppy. Ran well down in Limerick in the Kirby. Good first round winner in 28.74. Makes a Shelbourne Park debut here this evening. He's currently 5-4 favourite. As I say, next in is trap 6, which is Dallas. Ian, 5-4 about Malog Stormzy, would that take your fancy?
Not particularly. I'd be wanting a little bit bigger. Obviously he's switching tracks as well, back to Shelbourne Park. Needs to be on his toes in the early yards. 5-4 is plenty short enough for me. Now, cue him going out and winning about 6 lengths, but no, I'll be leaving the 5-4 alone.
Thanks, Ian. We're going to pop back down to Emma. She has another connection of one of the Oaks runners. Emma, down to you.
Barry, and I'm joined by a familiar face, of course, my uncle Jimmy, who has trap 5 Jamire Spring in the 4th heat at the Oaks. Jim, how is she? How has she been all week in preparation?
Emma, she's great. She's a bit like myself. She's a late starter. No, she's grand. Look, I suppose when she ran last week and she finished very well, and I know the time might have been the best, but you know what, I just said I'd throw her into it for the fun of it more than anything else, because it's somewhere to go on a Saturday night, if you like. So it's, look, she's a good determined little lady, which she's only in her 5th race, Emma, so hopefully she'll run once she does herself justice. I'll be happy enough, you know. Great
stuff, Jim. Obviously she ran well in the feet here last week. What are your hopes for tonight? A qualifier, hopefully?
Qualify. I'd like to be here next week again, Emma, possibly, but sure, look, we'll see how it goes and see how she gets on, and as I say, she has very little experience on her side, but at the same time, I think a little bit of her, and it's a big step up for her tonight, but hopefully she'll handle it okay, and sure, if she doesn't, we'll work plan B, It's always important to have plan B.
She's definitely the improving type, but it's great for the breeding side of things too. Of course, she's out of Jumeirah Lal, so she must be doing you very, very proud.
Yeah, she's doing. She was a great little bitch herself. She won the Peggy Fenley down in Cork, and she was in the final, of course, at English Oaks. A great bitch, great early pace, and her first litter very good indeed. Jerry Holian has Jumeirah Bridge running tonight up in Shelbourne Park in a race, and there's another dog in that race as well called Legal Thriller. So the two of them were born, bred and reared down at my place, so it'd be nice to see them in AO company. Hopefully the two of them will do well tonight, you know.
Well, Jim, thanks a million for talking to me, and I wish you the very best of luck tonight.
Emma, thank you, and good luck to you as well, Emma. Well done.
Jim.
Thank you. Thanks.
Well done, Emma. Nice one, nice one. Now, dogs are just on parade and mid-parade here for race 3 at Shelbourne Park, so we'll just actually off parade. So we'll have a look at a couple of runners here in a little bit more detail. And the first one we're going to have a look at is Trap 3, Domestic Arrow, for the Domestic Lad Syndicate and Donna Bate. This syndicate, I think, headed by John Fagan, the son of the great Tommy Fagan. What a character he was around Shelbourne Park many years ago. He's a likeable veteran. He's won over €7,000 in prize money. 10 of his 13 wins have come over course and distance. His recent best of 28.57 only came back here in November, so it's not that long ago, and he'd be looking to repeat one of his 2:06 sectionals. He can go up with the best of them. Next we're going to have a look at is the favourite, currently 6-4 now, Malog Stormzy, for Sean Drogan and Carrick and Shore, trained by Graham Holland. This one is son of Droopy Roddick and Emer's Poppy. He's from a smart litter. He's won on his Shelbourne debut back in December. Exited the second round of the Con and Annie Kirby earlier this month. He's in really good hands, and he's another one that remains with potential. And finally, we're going to have a look at Trap 6, Witches Dallas, owned and trained by Liam Toomey in Middleton. This one, she had a big win around Youghal in January in 28.66. And to me, this represents a slight drop in class. I know it's A1 company, and she had been running in A1 company, but that Cork outing against the likes of Ballydoyle Rossa and Sweep the Yard, they're two really classy performers. She's 0 from 1 around Shelbourne, but that did come in top grade. She's currently your 5-2 second favourite. But for me, it's going to be Trap 5, Malog Stormzy. I know Ian isn't too keen on Malog Stormy. Trap 3, Domestic Arrow, can fly out when he puts it all together, and I know he's getting on in years, but he's certainly won with a chance. Of the rest, Awesome Blue ran well here when just pipped on April the 3rd by Cabra Blitz. He's another one with a chance. And of the remainder then Cabra Dawn in Trap 4 for Ava Scally. This bitch, she's won 5 of her 20 races, has a good card. Big run down in Turles, 31.30 on the 5th or 6th of February this year. So Ian, you're against Malog Stormzy. I can tell you he's currently 6-4. Next in is Witches Dallas at 3-1, and it's 5-1 bar these. Actually now 9-2 your selection, Ian. Trap 1, Cost Boss.
Yeah, what can I say? Cost Boss well housed in the fence. We actually look through the 6 runners and their best times. You know, Cost Boss 28.67, Awesome Blue 28.68, Domestic Arrow 28.57, be it a while back. Cabra Dawn 28.68, Malog Stormzy 28.70, and Witches Dallas that 28.53 around Youghal. Obviously that's calculated, but you know, on those sort of form lines, there's not much between the 6 and Malog Storms. He's actually the slowest of them in terms of its personal best. Obviously, it's priced the way it is because it's trained by Graham Holland and because they brought it down to Limerick for the Kirby. They obviously think a bit of it and has shown plenty of promise, but just from the draw, I'd be more than willing to take it on. And as I said, Cost Boss in the fence there, well housed. And you mentioned it yourself, Witches Dallas, 9 wins from 34 starts, has limited experience here at Shelbourne Park, but has 1 or 2 lines of form that are very eye-catching. But no, I'm going to stick with Cost Boss on the inside. You know, in a race that's tight, the place to be is on the inside, perhaps. Certainly if you can hold your line, and that's the way I see it.
Thanks, Ian. I've got to agree. I'm not too familiar with Malog Stormzy. Ian, is he really head for the rails?
No, well, he's a middle seed. You know, he's not going to dive for the fence or anything like it. I'm just saying that, you know, there's plenty of, you know, there's 1 or 2 runners on its inside can certainly go up fast, and then Witches Dallas on the outside can, you know, hold its pitch, shall we say. And you know, unless Malog Stormzy get clear around the corner, he's open to finding a bit of traffic, and that's why I'd be just willing to take him on at the price.
Yeah, okay, thanks Ian. So Ian's against the favourite. I'm going to be with the favourite. One of us will be wrong, more than likely me. Don't forget, if you want to take on the favourite like Ian, you can mix the rest of the runners up on a trio on Barking Buzz. Some of the trios have been playing quite well recently, so I'll maybe pick 4 dogs to do a combination tricast or 3 dogs to do a combination tricast, and you could land yourself a decent pot. So runners are just about to go into traps for race number 3. So finally we'll head over to Ian Fortune for the commentary.
Yeah, thanks, Barry. As you can see, the Greyhounds are behind boxes now for this third contest. It is the GRIreland.ie A1 525. It's an A1. It's competitive. No doubt one or two of these will race in higher company than A1 in the future. The youngster of the party is Trap 5, Malloch Stormy, I suppose. That's another factor as to why he's shorter than some of his more exposed rivals. But as you can see, the loading process is underway. So this third race here tonight at Shelbourne Park, the GRIreland.ie A1 525. The last couple being placed in the boxes. Indeed, they're all in now. Now the hare sent on its way. In 1, Cost Boss, 2, Awesome Blue, 3, Domestic Arrow, 4, Cabra Dawn, 5 is Malloch Stormzy, and 6 is Witches Dallas. The hare well on the way now for this third race. Racing, good start by 1, Cost Boss. In contrast, 5, Malloch Stormzy completely stumbled out of boxes. It's Cost Boss leads round from in second 2, Awesome Blue. Then comes 4, Cabra Dawn, 6, Witches Dallas. They really are strung out. It's 20 lengths first to last. 3, Domestic Arrow at the tail, but it's 1, Cost Boss on by 3 lengths to the third from 2, Awesome Blue, and 4, Cabra Dawn. Still Cost Boss, but 2, Awesome Blue not going away in second spot, and now launches his challenge up front. 1, Cost Boss, 2, Awesome Blue, nip and tuck to the line. Awesome Blue gets there from 1, Cost Boss, and 4, Cabra Dawn. The winning time 28.68. It got tight at the finish, but Awesome Blue got up to beat 1, Cost Boss.
Yeah, see, and it was a fascinating finish in the end. It didn't look like it was going to be that tight heading down the back straight, as you did allude to. They were strung out like the wash. And let's see, can we get a replay of the finish? It did look like Trap 2, Awesome Blue, got up just in the shadow of the post, I'd say, a head or so. I mean, I must bow to your superior knowledge. You were against Trap 5. Cost Boss, you call it. I think he's just chinned here. You can see coming towards the line too. Yeah, he's definitely in front, isn't he? He's up by a head anyway, and he takes it in 28.68. That's a decent spin. Let's have a look at it again from the start. Cost Boss away very well from the inside. You see them popping out here now. 5 on the other hand completely missed it. There we go, down on his back legs. His chance is gone. Cost Boss the complete opposite. Professional out, good early pace up on the rails and heads into the back straight with a 3-length lead. Trap 2, Awesome Blue, he can run on quite well. Ran on well and just chinned here on the March the 25th, but Trap 1 moved wide off the third bend there. 2 is still 2 lengths behind him. Decides to switch outside. Can't really make up his mind, but then decides to launch his challenge on the outside and just gets up in the shadow of the post. It's a good spin, 28.68. The trio could well pay a decent dividend with Trap 5 out of the first 3. But Ian, you did call it there. I have to give credit where credit is due. Okay, so result has been officially called, and it was Awesome Blue who got up to beat Cost Boss. I'll have another look. Ian, over to you.
Yeah, apologies. I was just getting the result there from the judge, and yeah, confirmed the Trap 2 Awesome Blue was a winner. I assume they're going to call it a neck nearly, to be honest. You know, it was certainly up, and when you're on the near side, you can add those few inches as well. So I'd say it's close enough to a neck. Cost Boss had obviously made a bold bid from the front, but you just had a feeling that Awesome Blue just was holding that little bit extra. And 1, Cost Boss did drift across this line off the final bend. The pair did bump, and for a moment I thought it might be a bit malicious, but no, there was nothing about it. Trap 2 Awesome Blue just stuck his head down, went to the front, and landed the spoils from Cost Boss. And 4, Cabra Dawn did stay on well in third spot. Malloch Stormzy, I know I opposed it. I wasn't expected to come out 7 lengths behind the last dog into the opening bend, so you can certainly forgive it for that. But no, a fine run by the winner. Awesome Blue will win plenty more races, as will Cost Boss, and I'm sure Malloch Stormzy will be off the mark here at Shelbourne Park very soon indeed.
Ian, take that important phone call. Okay, so it's 1-0 to Fortune in the Tipping Stakes tonight. Emma down in Limerick is joined by Timmy O'Donovan. Emma, Tommy.
Thanks, Barry. Of course, I'm joined by Tom O'Donovan, who's doubly represented in the 2021 SIS Limerick Oaks. We'll start with Azabi, who was a brilliant winner here last week in the A2. Tell us, how has she come off from last week?
Yeah, she's in great form, Emma. She was drawn better last week. She wants the rails, and she's out in 5 tonight. So I mean, it's going to be hard for her to get across there tonight. She's really going to have to ping out and clear them to get across. So I'm not overly hopeful tonight where we're drawn. I suppose if she could qualify, it'd be a bonus. And I guess with Miss Minnie Mall, it's the same story. She's mad for the rails, and she's drawn out in 5 as well. We haven't had the look of the gods tonight with draws, but that's the way it goes.
Definitely two tricky draws. Miss Minnie Wall is coming back from Tralee, stepping back down in trip. How do you fancy her tonight?
Yeah, look.
Yeah, sorry, we've lost pictures from Limerick. We hope to get them back as soon as possible. So just looking, we did allude to maybe having a forecast or a TriCast on the last race. Did pay 44 quid the forecast. We're going to head back now. In picture.
Look, they're both drawn bad, and I think Mark's bitch in that race, Skywalker bitch. She was a very impressive bitch in Newbridge, so I think she's going to be hard to beat.
Of course, conditions aren't ideal here tonight either. How will they handle that? Because bitches can be a bit finicky at times, can't they?
They can be funny, yeah. No, these two are pretty straightforward. They don't really care what you throw at them. They handle any conditions, and no, that won't be a problem. Maybe that'll be to their advantage tonight.
Great stuff, Tom. Thanks a million.
Thanks.
Best of luck tonight, and we wish you the best of luck throughout the competition also.
Cheers. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks a million, Emma. So earlier on, I gave you a reserve in race 11, trap 5, and reserve K. Couldn't find it, but I can tell you now it is Tip Top Taylor. Runs from trap 5 in race 11, due off in around 9:30 or so. So the big one this evening is obviously the final of the 2021 Puppy Oaks. We have favourite in trap 1. Frontamani in 6 is second favourite, and myself and Ian Fortune have a slight fancy for trap 2, Cooladerry Wings. So we're hoping to get a bit of 20, 25 to 1. Ian, have you managed to get any of this 20 or 25 to 1 for Cooladerry Wings later on?
Listen, I like her. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind seeing her over a bit further in the future. I think tonight might be a bit beyond her. I think I'll leave the 20, 25 to 1 to yourself, Barry. It's a cracking final. There's some really nice types in there. Obviously, Susie Sapphire is the one that's currently on an upward trajectory. She's flown from traps in her last 2 starts. She's improved with each of her runs here at Shelbourne Park, and if she improves again, she could take some stopping. But Frontamani tonight, this contest isn't packed with early speed, unlike 1 or 2 of her heats in recent weeks. Susie Sapphire may well set the pace up front on the inside, but if Frontamani can turn a bit closer to the pace than she has done the last 2 weeks, we could be in for a thrilling finish. I went for Frontamani in print. I won't change it. Track, in hindsight, I know the first winner was 28.95 coming from miles off the pace. I thought the Billis dog would do faster, and the 2 dogs in the last race got solos out front in 28.68. It's not lightning quick, so I'm just thinking maybe Frontamani just might be suited by the conditions, and I'm just going to say that she'll shin Susie Sapphire inside the final 50 and land the spoils for Kevin Proctor and Robert Gleeson. I think she's a hell of a performer. She has 28.11 on her card, so I'm not exactly telling you anything new. We know she's very talented. Her crux, though, is that first 50-60 yards. If she is close to the pace tonight, she'll be hard to stop. But it's a great final, and even 1 or 2 of those that we did mention, Cooladerry Wings, they can improve. Kilpipe Blue was desperately unlucky last week to get picked up. Rockglen Swift is one that has a really, really bright future, and Miss Clover out in trap 5 can run as well. So we'll be hearing plenty more of these ladies in the future and in the near future, because I'm sure they'll all be taking in the Sporting Press Irish Oaks.
Yes, they most certainly will. Rockglen Swift definitely deserves a mention in trap 4. She actually made her debut in this competition, and for one so young, only having her 3rd race, she finds herself in the final of the Puppy Oaks. So as you say, she does have a big and bright future ahead. Now, because of the favourite was unplaced in the last race, forecast on Barking Buzz did pay over €40, so it's well worth getting involved if you like an outsider. Cooladerry Wings later on, don't forget she might be well worth throwing into the mix with a forecast or a TriCast. She can fly out, and she certainly does finish well. I know her last couple of runs around here, you think she's a little bit short of early pace, but believe me, she's not. She can hit it. Oh, she might be short of early pace, but she can trap, and at a big price, she's well worth a look. Now, race 4 is upcoming next here, and I had a quick word with Debbie O'Rourke during the week, and she assures us, not really assures us I suppose, but she really does fancy Tobin in trap 1, so he's currently your 9-4 favourite. We'll have a look at that in a couple of minutes. Greyhounds have just left the kennelling area, so we're going to just briefly touch on the English Greyhound Derby, which starts shortly in Towcester. I've picked out a couple. Ian, just give us your thoughts on a couple of my selections for Towcester. I know they're having issues over there with the traps at the moment, but maybe a word on the Machine. 33 to 1 still available. The way he finished down in Limerick, a track that possibly won't suit him. Bigger galloping track in Towcester could suit him down to the ground, and he looks like a type of dog that could keep on qualifying.
I don't think Toaster's a bigger galloping track than Limerick. Short little straights and Toasters, a lot of bends. I think the machine should be okay around the place. He's already raced there, of course, compared to many of our Irish dogs. He took in the English Puppy Derby the back end of last year, so that bit of experience should really stand to him. There's no question he has massive pace, and he'll be a hard one to keep out of the frame, certainly with that bit of track experience as well.
He certainly will. Ran well there in the Puppy Derby last year. There's actually a picture circulating on Twitter of Knocking the Bowl Sid. Emma Buckley put it up the other day. It's certainly well worth having a look at Knocking the Bowl Sid. He looks absolutely magnificent. If you're on Twitter, go and have a look at the dog. He looks, nearly wanted to make me give up training my own greyhounds, the way that dog looks. So anyway, dogs have left the way room for race 4. For what it's worth, I'm going to side with Debbie O'Rourke here and trap 1. Tobin, she tells me this fella is in great form. He's going to fly out and make all. So who am I to disagree with Debbie? As I say, currently the 9-4 favourite. Me Paisley Park joint favourite at 9-4 also, and it's a 130-hour little game out in trap 6. Dogs are just about to head on to the parade ring, so I'm going to side with trap 1. Ian, you know more than me. It's currently 1-0 to you in the tipping competition. Who's your fancy here?
Well, if it's 1-0 to me and you're going to tip first in every race, I think I'll just match you. I'll go with the same as you in every race, and that way I'm going to win by 1, whatever happens. But no, it's hard to look past Tobin because he is such a regular here. We know exactly what he's going to do. He's going to go up fast. He's going to move to the middle of the track, hold his rivals, and hopefully stay there in front. But I think Move Over Mabel could run well in trap 4. Meanwhile, the runners now on parade for this 4th race. The Rossiach Canaran A1525. One is Tobin, Liam O'Rourke, owns and trains. The son of Ballymac and Killara, Duchess. Next in blue is Cosse, son by Paula Coss, a son of Droopy Sydney and Lady Luck, with 2 wins and 15 starts. 3, Me Paisley Park for Michael English. This a son of Patsy Sabbath and Me Like a Lucy. He's won 3 of his 15. 4, Move Over Mabel, only 1 win from 11 for Michael Taggart and Damien McCann, but a big player, this daughter of Borna House and Palace Queen. 5 is Burrow Tiger, James Nevin, Avian Byrne, a son of Droopy's Jet, Hoofit Katie. And completing the lineup in the stripes is Our Little Game for Conor Byrne, a son of Over Limit and Our Little Minx. He won around here on March 27th when leading from the opening corner. Can he do so again? Well, we'll soon find out. They are the runners for this 4th race, the Rossiach Canaran A1525. Barry, back to yourself. I think what? I'll side with trap 4, Move Over Mabel. How's that?
Yeah, that's good. It wouldn't have been much of a competition now if you were to just pick the same as me, and I'm sure there probably wouldn't be too many more winners to follow if you follow me in throughout the rest of the card. Anyway, we're going to have a look at a couple of these in more details, and the first one we're going to start with is the aforementioned Tobin. Slight drift now from 9-4. He's almost touching 3-1 on the Bet.Back exchange. Me Paisley Park has overtaken him now at 11-4 favourite. But as I say, the trainer fancies this one tonight. He's a really good strike rate with 9 wins from 31 starts. He's a model of consistency. Won over £5,000 in prize money with a win tonight, and just look at his card there. Early pace all the way, as I say, perfectly housed in trap 1. Next one we're going to have a look at is Me Paisley Park, owned and trained by Mick English in Kilkenny, son of Patsy Sabbath and Me Like a Loosely. It was a strong A2 he won around here on March the 26th. He had the likes of Night Honcho and Razzle Dazzle Curtis in behind. Night Honcho has since gone on to win in 28.66, and of course Razzle Dazzle Curtis currently contesting this Cesarewitch in Navan. He's won around here in 31.07 for a 5.75 only a couple of weeks ago. And finally, out in trap 6, Our Little Game. She's currently next best in the betting. I get a check for you now. She's 4-1, 3rd favourite. She's a son of Over Limit and Our Little Mix. Shelbourne regular, debut winner in Mullingar, and a runaway winner on her 2nd Shelbourne start here in October. He's lightly raced this year, and although he's in middle seed, I don't think the draw will be an issue, as he has won out of trap 6 before. So for me, it's going to be Tobin to make all. On the inside of the others, Coss Ace represents Paula Coss, who had Coss Boss in her previous race, who was just touched off, so maybe compensation awaits for Paula Coss here. This fella, another early pace son, like his brother. Sectionals down in Newbridge, 0.88 really tells you that this one can fly the lids. Trap 4, Ian, your selection, Move Over Mabel. Only the 1 win from 11. But that was a decent performance. She won 28.75 when making all in a 2.06 section, so she can go up well. And the old man of the party, trap 5, I beg your pardon, Burrow Tiger, currently 10-1. This fella, son of Droopy's Jet and Hoofit Katie, won 6 of his 40 starts. Big run in Turles, 31.29, but I think he faces a tough task here this evening. As I say, I'm going to side with trap 1. Give you one last quick show of betting. Trap 1, there has been late support for Trap 1 now. The best around is 7-4. It's now 3-1, me Paisley Park in Trap 3, 4-1, Our Little Game, and it's 7-1, bar those 3. Ian, final thoughts with you?
You know, it's one of those races where any mistakes could be crucial. Trap 1 Tobin is certainly the most consistent of them, certainly for you know, as far as Shelbourne Park form is concerned. Just expect him to edge off slightly, but he will go up fast, and if he does hit the front, he's always difficult to pass. You know, I know he was picked up the second last night in 28.90, beaten by Ardalon Lord, but Ardalon Joe, should I say. Ardalon Joe is a strong stayer, so there's nothing that's going to come in from lengths behind Tobin in this contest if he did hit the lids. But I just took a chance that Move Over Mabel. She hasn't won too many. She's relatively lightly raced for her age, but just that 28.75 here at Shelbourne Park. It was actually 28.65 rated 10 fast. So, you know, some nights they don't rate it fast, some nights they do. You know, I know it's nearly a year ago, but just caught the eye and has been running reasonably well in recent starts and just could represent a bit of value in 4. But it's the type of race where I wouldn't be having any financial interest myself. Well, as you can see, the runners in traps for this 4th race here at Shelbourne Park: in 1 Tobin, 2 Cossace, in 3 Meet Paisley Park, 4 Move Over Mabel, 5 Burrow Tiger, and 6 is Our Little Game. Here, coming up behind traps. Racing, good start by 4, Move Over Mabel, leads into the bend from in second, 2 Cossace and 6, Our Little Game, showing good early dash on the outside to take over from 4, Move Over Mabel. Then comes 1 Tobin, but out front, and 6, Our Little Game. Races on by 3 lengths, 2 in second, 4, Move Over Mabel, 1 Tobin making your forward move, but still 6, Our Little Game. Now Tobin is in clear, into second spot, less than 2 lengths down, it's 6, Our Little Game. 1 Tobin switches wide to challenge, 4 Move Over Mabel in traffic, but 6, Our Little Game made a decisive move into the corner, went to the front and stayed there. 3 Me Paisley Park staying on stoutly. The winning time 28.73. Our Little Game, a good winner for Conor Byrne. Good.
Yeah, great display there by Our Little Game, making all from Trap 6, as we did allude to before. The Trap 6 wasn't going to be an issue. She's won out of here before. She comes away really, really well. Tobin, on the other hand, slightly missed a start, which is unlike him. 4 just gets slightly clipped from behind as they head into the first bend, which makes all the difference there. Your selection, Ian, Move Over Mabel. So down the back straight, Our Little Game for Conor Byrne sets the pace. She's now gone 2.5 lengths clear. Tobin puts in a big run up the inside, but it's not really his style of running. He usually out in front on his own, so he has run well. You can mark that run up. Trap 6 stays on strongly up the home straight. There's a bit of bunching in behind, but he never looked in any danger as he swung off the last bend. Let's have another look at it again. We'll keep our eye on Trap 1 here, Tobin. As I say, if you look at his sectionals, he usually comes out much better than this. Well, he never comes out that fast, in fairness to him, but look, sure, that's after breaking all sorts of records there. I think that was 1:06, never mind 2:06. But as you can see, he doesn't take one of his flyers. He does show good early pace to get himself into third at the first bend. Moves inside Trap 4, Move Over Mabel down the back straight, and shows really, really good pace to get up the inside of this one in the third bend. But if you know Tobin, you know that most of his running is probably done by now, and Trap 6 is a strong sort out in front. A couple of finished well marks on his card. So it's a good win for Our Little Game for Conor Byrne in 28.73. So next up, of course, we're going to be the RCETS A1525, which roughly translates as the Rossiuk Canaran Traceability System 525. But as I say, just a quick mention on our main event here this evening, the 2021 Puppy Oaks Final. It's been won by some really classy sorts in the past. Of course, Droopy's Twirl in 2011 won the Puppy Oaks before going on to capture the main event later on in the year. The same can be said about Ballydoyle Honey, who done the same in 2015 Puppy Oaks before going on to win numerous races. She really was a cracking bitch. I think she might have won, she definitely won 20 odd races around here in Shelbourne Park. She's one of the best bitches we've ever seen. She actually has a daughter running later on in the card tonight, Ballydoyle Honey. So as I say, Cooladary Wings, she's not one to be forgotten about at a big price, 25 to 1. I really can't see her sneaking into the frame, and look, at 25 to 1, it's worth a small play on the tote on the Barking Buzz. So Ian, just your thoughts on the next race here. We have a couple of well-bred sorts, especially Valentia Royal here. He's a full brother of Ballydoyle Valor from a repeat mating, and also the likes of Rocks Home. But he's an interesting sort. He's only had the 3 races in really good hands for Owen McKenna, and of course Butsy's best for Jerry Holohan in 6. This is an A1, but I can't see many of these hanging around in A1 grade for too long, Ian.
No, Well, Highview Magnet won in 28.73 last time. That'll certainly step up. You find with the Merriman runners that it's after 2 or 3 races that they only start to really sort of make a move forward. So for this to do 28.73 and only its second career start was highly encouraging. Trap 6, obviously, Butsy's best one. Jerry Holian travels to Shelbourne Park. You always pay them respects. This won in 28.79 here at Shelbourne Park on March 5th. From this draw, he certainly left enough on the track that night to suggest he can go considerably faster. And if you were asking me to pick a likely winner, I'd be going with Trap 6, Butsy's best. But yeah, plenty of respect for Trap 5, Highview Magnus. And as you mentioned, Valencia Royal for Owen McKenna, very well bred son of Kinloch Bray, and Fira Mosky, who herself was an unbelievable tracker. Fira Mosky across the pond. She's one win, or he has one win from 3, this Valencia Royal. And that 28.82 run here at Shelbourne Park, I'm sure he'll come on for that. So yeah, they'd be my 3 against the field. The one I didn't mention, of course, Capakeel Puma in Trap 1 for Jerry Melia. Jerry also a very shrewd individual, but no, I'll go with Butsy's best on the outside here. It's not an inspired choice. He did take a tumble in the Kirby in the opening round, but I'd be ignoring that and hoping that he produced something like he did the last night here. And if he does get a clean run in the opening yards, I'd expect him to go a bit faster than 28.79, and he'd be my choice.
Okay, so you are actually getting your choice in first there, yeah? You're giving out to me saying I'm picking first all the time. So you've nailed your colours to the mast, you've jumped the gun, you've went in, you've picked first there, Mr. Fortune, Trap 6. I'm going to go with Valencia Royal. Actually quite a big price, I can't believe it. He's currently 4-1 Valencia Royal. So yeah, big price. We also have the reserve in the next race, Trap 3 in Tradesman. So look, that's a decent race to look forward to. Emma, can you just give us an update on conditions down in Limerick? It's glorious here in Shelbourne Park, but I did hear you saying that conditions aren't great in Limerick. Is it raining down there, or what's happening?
Yeah, Barry, it's just beginning to dry up just in time because we are nearly at the time for off. We are very, very lucky to have 24 fine ladies in the lineup tonight. Of course, we've seen Kilmacdonough won it in 2019. She won an Irish Oaks, a Shelley Finley and a Dundalk International after for Kieran Lynch, and also went to the Irish Derby. And Lochman Bridie in 2013 also went on to win an Oaks and a Ledger. So if there's a gem like one of them in tonight's competition, we will be in for a treat. But conditions are drying up. We should get a good representation of all of them tonight, and we're looking forward to it. But I'll throw it back to you, Barry. Do you fancy anything in the Limerick Oaks tonight?
Yeah, thanks, Emma. Yeah, I did fancy a couple. We've lost a couple of runners from Limerick. I should have given you those at the top of the card. There's a couple of non-runners in one of the heats. I think it's race 6, which would be heat 2. Trap 3, Skywalker Angie is a non-runner, and also Trap 4, Skywalker or Cheeky Lily is an absentee. So there's one of the heats is only a 4-runner affair. So look, the name of the game is qualifying there, so it should be a straightforward task for some of them. I do like Tullivan Beyonce in the first race. She's been running well down there recently. A big win last week in 28.40 after contesting the Munster Oaks in Cork. She took to the track well last time, and I think she's one with a big chance in the 5th race. So Ian, I did come to you earlier on about the English Greyhound Derby, and I threw the machine at you, so he's got a bit of a chance. Here's another one I'm going to throw at you. I've seen she's 40-1, and I don't know why, but I just think she might take to the track, is Ballymac Ariel. Would you give Ballymac Ariel a chance in the big one, Ian?
You're asking the right man. I'm actually the chairperson of the Ballymac Ariel fan club. Not many people know that. Actually, a lot of people know that. She's obviously gone off the boil a little bit in the last few weeks and months. She's had a few niggly problems, but I've no doubt if Liam need him down and get this bitch right as rain, she'll be a big player. It's whether they bring her. Obviously the Sporting Press Irish Oaks is here at Shelbourne Park, so they may choose to go the Oaks route, but if she was to turn up in England, and I'd wait until I'd get confirmation that 40-1 would be a big price, because if this lady can produce something like her very, very best form from the back end of last year, I think there's very few that could match her. She is stunning pace. I would like to see her getting a bit more consistency at boxes, but there's no questioning her engine. She's an incredibly fast lady. I would ignore her last 3 or 4 starts, because that's not the real Ballymac Ariel. There's far better to come from her, and hopefully we'll see it in Toaster, because it'll be great to see her really showing her true colours, especially to the UK contingent who are starting to doubt my belief in this lady.
Yeah, well, if you don't know she's going to the English Derby just yet, and you're the chairman of the syndicate, or the chairman of the fan club, actually, we're all in trouble. I didn't realise Greyhounds had fan clubs. My own dog's running later on this evening on the card. He doesn't even have many fans in the family, let alone a fan club. So anyway, Ian, you've nailed your colours to the mast here, trap 6. You must have got a sneaky look at the betting. He's currently 4-5 favourite, while I'm on a 5-1 chance, so cheating, I suppose, but your luck will let it slide. As I say, I'm going to go for trap 2, Valencia Royal. He's a well-bred son of Kinloch Bray and Fiora Mosky. Of course, she was a fabulous bitch. He's currently 4-1, which I think represents great value. But obviously, trap 6, Butsy's best. He opened up at 5-4 yesterday when I priced this up. He's now 4-5. So there's been some strong support for him, and there's money queuing up to back him there at 6-4. You'll be lucky to get that. Look, if you don't like trap 6, we've seen it happen earlier on. You can leave him out and maybe play a forecast or a tricast. It worked for Ian Fortune earlier in the evening. Highview Magnus in trap 5 for Dolores Merriman. I've seen this one run on her debut. She actually ran quite well. She came out well from trap 1 and just moved to the middle of the track. She made no mistakes in her second start when posting a 2:06 sectional, making all in 28.73. She looks a really promising type. She has a good bit of early pace about her, and she could well hold up Butsy's best, who, look, he hasn't. Last time out he was well beaten. The trial last time was only satisfactory, I suppose, for an A1 grade, 18.94. It's not mind blowing. Look, it's not slow either, but, and as I say, there's obviously a bit of market support behind them. So Ian, you're in first with your 4-5 shot. They're just about to go on parade, so I'll throw it over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Barry. You seem to forget maybe he's 4-5 because I did tip him up, and that's the way I'm going to look at it. We are looking forward to this 5th race. It is the RCETS A1525, the traceability system. We would urge everyone to get involved in the traceability system because it's certainly going to work in our favour as an industry and as a sport. Now the runners on parade for this 5th race, the RCETS A1525. 1 Capakill Puma, 4 Jerry Melia, Gabriel Conway, Jack Nerney. A daughter Skywalker Puma, Beitan Engel. 2 in your card, Valencia Royal, Owen McKenna for James Cunningham, Morris Jackson, a son of Kinloch Bray and Fiora Mosky, 1 win from 3. Next in trap 3 we had Tradesman, the reserve on your card, Reserve I. We've already seen a reserve winning tonight. This tremble Declan McDonough for Shane Coonahan. In 4 is Town Penny for Sean Dooley and AJ Dooley. A daughter of Skywalker Farlow, Lalinia. 5 Highview Magnet, lightly race performer owned by Dolores Merriman, a daughter of Patsy Sabaton. Highview Idol, clearly going the right way. And 6 is Butsy's Best for Jerry Holian and the Butsy's Boccos Syndicate. This is a son of Ballymac Best, Kalikal Tammy, bred to be fast. 3 wins, some 8 starts, including some fine form on its card. So a leading fancy, shall we say, for this 5th race, an A1525. They're on the way to boxes. As I say, Barry, they're on the way to traps. I believe you're going to take a look at 1 or 2 of them in greater detail.
Yes, Ian, we are. We're going to look at a couple of them in greater detail. It's actually funny you say that about a market move for trap 6 when you mention it, because as soon as I mentioned trap 2, who was 5-2 all week, he's gone to 5-1. So yeah, it's safe to say I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, we'll give it a bash. So a couple we're going to have a look at here in a little bit of a closer detail. Starting off with trap 2, Valencia Royal. This fellow is son of Kinloch Bray and brilliant bitch Fiora Mosky for Owen McKenna. As I say, he's a full brother to Ballydoyle Valor, and he's a half brother to Roxholm Butt, and to mention but a few. She's a really classy blood bitch. He led for much of the way on the Shelbourne Park debut here last week. 2 weeks ago. He faded out of it in the end. But look, his dam won the 2013 Regency at Hove, and he was a wide margin winner on his debut. So as I say, October 19, very, very young and plenty of room for improvement. Currently 4-1. The next one we're going to have a look at is trap 5, Highview Magnet for Dolores Merriman in County Offaly. This one a daughter of Patsy Sabat and Highview Idol. She won on her second start here a couple of weeks ago when making all from trap 4. That was only an A5, and she's straight up into A1 class this evening. She did qualify well, 29.32. Any dog qualifying in 29.32 seems to have a bright future ahead of her. She showed really good early pace in her last occasion and won by 5 lengths, 1 going away. She seemed to stay on well at the finish. And the final one we're going to have a look at, still currently your 4-5 favourite, is Butsy's Best in trap 6. This one owned by the Butsy's Bucko Syndicate in Shannon. They seem to have some nice greyhounds in their care recently, and trained of course by the excellent Jerry Holihan. He has got some smart form in the book. He's at 18.70 win around Limerick over the sprint, and a 28.95 down there. If you look at that 28.95 when he won in Limerick, his sectional is 148, so that tells you he didn't come away all that well. you'd be expecting dogs with sprinter's pace to maybe come away in the 130s or high 128s. But for him to do 148 means he really did leave a lot of time at the boxes. He's 1894 trial. It's his first run in maybe 3-4 weeks, so he can be expected to improve upon it. He will need to improve upon it, however, to win an A1 around Shelbourne Park. You're looking at 28.70 at a minimum to win this one. So the last check at the betting, we still have Butsy's Best is still your favourite at 4-5. Next in, we have Trap 5, actually, Highview Magnet 4-1. It's 9-2 Trap 2, Valentia Royal, 6-1 Capiquil Puma, and it's 10-1 the reserve Tradesman and Town Penny. Town Penny has a decent strike rate, 3 from 6, but I'm going to side with 2. Ian, you're with 6. Dogs are loading.
Yeah, they certainly are, Barry. This is the 5th race on the card, already 5 races in. It's flown by. You're doing great, Barry. Keep up the good work. As for Emma, she's playing a stormer down in Limerick. We've already heard from the likes of Pat Guilfoyle and Tommy O'Donovan. I'm sure she'll have more interesting interviews in the coming hour and a half or so. Meanwhile, as you can see, the loading process almost complete here at Shelbourne Park for this 5th race, an A1 5-2-5. There you have it. Last couple in boxes now for this 5th contest here at Shelbourne Park. A very competitive affair. The run to the corner, all important. Here is on the way. In 1, Capiquil Puma. 2, Valentia Royal. 3 is Tradesman, the reserve. 4, Town Penny. 5, Highview Magnet. And out in 6 is Butsy's Best. They're well on the way now for this 5th race. Racing, good start by Trap 5. Highview Magnet leads into the bend from 3. Tradesman up the inside of that one. Then comes 6. Butsy's Best back in 3rd spot, but it is 5. Highview Magnet leads him into the far side from 3. Tradesman, then comes 6. Butsy's Best, but 5. Highview Magnet on by a length and a bit. Now 3. Tradesman showing pace up the inside to challenge 5. Highview Magnet and 3 Tradesman. Highview Magnet tries to close the door, does so. 6 Butsy's Best now left second, trying to close, but 5 Highview Magnet leads up to the line. 2 wins from 3 starts for this one. Second is 6 Butsy's Best. 1 Capiquil Puma back in 3rd. The winning time 28.76. A fine display by Dolores Merriman's Highview Magnet. Yeah, kept on digging out front there. Barry. Highview Magnet, a good winner for Dolores Merriman.
Yeah, thank you, Highview Magnet. I couldn't afford to go 2-0 down to you at this stage of the evening, Ian. Yeah, really, really likeable performer, this young bitch. That's only her 3rd start, as you say. Came away only okay and showed real good early pace into the bend. A couple of early pace types in that race, and she was able to more than hold her own against them. So she definitely has a good bit of early pace. Runs well down into the 2nd bend and straightens up a good length and a half clear. They closed on her going into the 3rd bend, where the reserve Tradesman looked like he was going to get up. She forced him just to check here, and he caused a little bit of trouble in behind, and that gave Highview Magnet a little bit of a buffer up the home straight, and she goes on to hold the hot favourite in 2nd place by a length or so. So let's just have a look. Your selection, Ian, the hot favourite Butsy's Best, wasn't the best away from traps. You could just see not really a stumble, just didn't really anticipate it. And as I mentioned, the section of the Limerick 148 sort of guides to that. Yeah, he wasn't away great. That's maybe a 220 odd sectional, but on the other hand, 5, she showed great early pace. 6, he had every chance really from there, as did the 2 dog. He probably ran slightly disappointed. They did close into the 3rd bend. Tradesman here looked like the winner gone up the inside, but 5 just comes across him at the right time. I thought 3 could have drove through there. He didn't. He just backed off it. But look, let's take nothing away from the bitch in front. She could have ran in the Puppy Oaks. Maybe they didn't think she was quite good enough, but on that performance, it's a really likeable performance, and she's certainly going to be one for the Oaks later on. Now, the big one in Limerick is about to start, 8:07. So Emma Buckley is down there with us. Emma, can we have your thoughts on the first heat of the Oaks, please?
Yeah, Barry, my selection is going to be Penny Spicata in Trap 1. She has the perfect draw in the red box tonight, although her CV may not be as glamorous as some of the other competitors. But if the bookies were here, I'd be taking a chance on her. I think she might be a bit of value, and of course, I'm sure her owners and trainers, Michael and Noel Nash, would be as well. Of course, Mike Nash is the father to brilliant Limerick hurler Barry Nash, who we're big fans of in the Buckley household. Tullivin Beyonce in Trap 2, a very fast and improving type. She ran brilliant down in Cork, and of course her last start was here in Limerick, where she ran a massive race. However, she is likely to move out, and she could cause a bit of problems for Grangeview Mags. Grangeview Mags is going to be coming in for the rails. She needs to trap very well to score here, because she's going to have to clear 2. Tally Ho Hope is out in 4. She's won recently here in Limerick, of course, the A3 stake on Con Kirby night. This is a big jump up in class. However, she's very good at traps, and she's just the improving type. You can't rule her out. Azabi out in trap 5. We heard from Tom O'Donovan a little bit earlier. She is a bit far out tonight, and she'll be wanting that rail desperately, but she's a very, very fast lady. 28.56 here in Limerick last week, and of course trap 6 is vacant, giving her a little bit of room on the run down to the corner. But I'm going to stick with Penny's Bacata, trap 1, just to get advantage over her rivals, who have been given a bit of a tricky draw. But Barry, what are your thoughts?
Winner in 28.40 last time out. Career best in an A1. 3 is Grangeview Mags for Michael Hogan and Nina. 28.91 on its card. Around Kilkenny, 4 wins from 18 for this one. 4 then is Talio Hope for the Walls of Talio Syndicate. And Irma Wall, Greyhound in cracking form, certainly stepping up in grade, is 4, Talio Hope. 5 sees Azabi for Thomas O'Donovan, owned and trained. 28.49 on that one's card. A winner here when odds on last time out in 28.56. And 6 is the reserve runner. Lisban Rose does not run reserve. At lack of chorus, another local enough runner for Noel Neenan there. That is the opening round. Greyhounds have concluded the parade for the opening heat of the opening round.
Yeah, thank you very much. As that chap mentioned there on commentary, we do have a reserve in trap 6 at the lack of chorus for Noel Neenan. She's 3 wins from 7. Her last wins have come in slightly lesser class, A3s, A4. She's going to struggle in this one. I think 20-1 is her price. Let's have a look at some of these in a little bit closer detail. Trap 2, Tullivin Beyonce. She was a semi-finalist in the SIS Cork Oaks last month. She had a huge run back here last week when she flashed from trap 4 and made all in 28.40. She beat Shelbourne Park 600 runner-up Pirno over 5-5 in November. She's a large lady, not a compliment most women want to hear. £71, but she's a favourite here now, currently at 9-4, and she's going to take a bit of beating. Next one we're going to have a look at is trap 4, Tally Ho Hope. This one's on a 4-timer. She missed a break last week here in the final of the Limerick and Clare Greyhound Owners and Breeders Association 8-3-5-2-5 final. Somehow she managed to negotiate around the outside, and she ran on well when she got half a chance. So, as I say, a bitch in real form. She's on a 4-timer, definitely one to be reckoned with. And finally, we're going to look at trap 5. Azabi is now gone 2-1 joint favourite with Tullivin Beyonce. This one, she was in an A2 last week. I don't know how she managed to do that, but that is the grading system. She was very well out of the traps last week to win. Led all, won by 5.5 lengths. She's a smashing bitch. She's won almost 12,000 in prize money. She needs to be on her toes, I think, tonight from this trap draw. So, Emma, just finally your quick thoughts. I'm going to side with trap 2, Tullivin Beyonce. What do you fancy here, Emma?
I'm going to go for Penny's Bacata in trap 1 just to get an early advantage on her rivals. They do have very tricky draws tonight. It could go anyway. Tullivin Beyonce is very fast up as well, but I'll stick to my guns. I'll stick with Penny's Bacata in trap 1. They're about to load here, and we'll hand you over to Ger for the commentary.
Prolific winner here for Irma Wall, and then at lack of chorus, the reserve runner. Place in the box. We're all set here for the 2021 SIS Limerick Oaks opening heat. 1 is Penny's Bacata, 2 Tullivin Beyonce, 3 Grangeview Mags, 4 is Tally Ho Hope, 5 is Azabi, and 6 the reserve at lack of chorus. Here's the bunny. Often racing the opening heat of the Limerick Oaks, and 3 Grangeview Mags shows the early pace, one of the quickest in the stride with 5 minutes outside. Now Azabi was back to its best last time out here with an odds-on winner. Limerick quickly goes about 6 lengths clear these down the back. They're playing second fiddle in the opening heat, and Azabi for Thomas O'Donovan is on for another big clock here tonight, followed by 2 then Tullivin Beyonce challenging on 1 then Penny's Bacata, but it's a 1-dog race off the last bend. 5 has flown here at Limerick. 5 Azabi goes on to score at a canter. Up for second was 2 Tullivin Beyonce. 1 Penny's Bacata qualifies back in third. What a run, 28.46. This one approaching 4 years of age and certainly back to its best.
Yeah, really good performance there by Azabi. I thought she was facing a tricky draw this evening. Let's see. Ford didn't come out great, which did aid her cause, but she showed good early pace, moved ever so slightly in and outpaced 3 to the bend. And once she got herself in this position, it was always going to be game over for the rest of them. Trap 1, Emma Selections, Penny's Bacata slipped through in second place, but she was never going to catch the one in front as she strides on and goes further and further clear. A big run around here last week in 28.56. And Azabi for Tommy O'Donovan. The kennels are in really good nick at the moment, and she strides out to win by maybe 6 or 7 lengths. Trap 2, Tullivan Beyonce, after completely missing the start, comes back in to finish second place. So Emma, we both still qualified, second and third, didn't collect the major money. How did you see that race going, Emma?
Yeah, look, when Azabi trapped, it was really, the writing was on the wall. What a brilliant lady she is, backing up the form that she put down here last week. Of course, she had to be very brave at that bend, but just made it in time. She set a searing gallop down the back and came home very strong tonight. Always looked comfortable when she was out in front. Sullivan Beyonce ran a good race in behind, and Penny's Bacata, there was a little bit of a tussle there at the second bend between them, but a brilliant race. Great to see 3 top-class ladies qualify, but Azabi, what a class act there. She really did just set the pace for the majority of the race, and a very, very, very good winner. We might even get the thoughts of Tom O'Donovan as he's coming off the track here soon.
Okay, thanks a million, Emma. Yeah, great performance there, and you have a handy one, Emma, in the next race for a runner, so you should surely be able to get the winner of us, or of the next race. So I'm going to jump in ahead of Mr. Fortune here, and I'm going to nail my colours to trap 6 here, Ballinackill Jet, in this race for Larry Dunn and Graham Holland. This is, of course, race 6 on the card, and I'm going to make everyone at home feel really, really old now when I say this, just thinking about Larry Dunn. And it's now 18 years since Moby Gamble won the Easter Cup. 18 years. I was here that night, Ian. I was standing on the line, and I assured Larry he had got up. I'm sure you were here yourself that evening. Okay, so Cool Legend here is approaching another Greyhound tonight. We see approaching his 5th birthday. This fella's been a great servant for Liam Hughes. But they're on parade. I'll pick it up here. Ian?
Yeah, as you can see, runners on parade for the 6th race here tonight. The Book Your Trials Online A1525. 1 Port Lamont Flash, under Margaret Doherty, son of Linson Panda, and Fork Lightning. 2 is Apothecary, Trimma Mert Life for John Coleman, a flying starter to the start of Law Hill Blake and Druby's Harbour. 3 is Waikiki Bomber, Peter Cronin for the Leamy Bryan Syndicate, son of Druby's Jet and Bramble Bonnie. 4 is Lady Boomerang, or Lord Boomerang, for Tommy Woods, the son of Pinpoint Maxie and Razzle Dazzle Beth. In 5 is Cool Legend, Liam Hughes, the son of Tar Big Mike and Princey Bug, almost as old as myself, an old veteran. And out in 6 is Ballinackill Jet for Graham Holland and Larry Dunn, a dog with stunning early speed, the son of Druby's Jet and Rushmore Beatrice, almost likely or almost certain to go to the front, but can he hold on? He is a slightly short runner. It is your 6th race, the Book Your Trials Online A1525. As you can see, they're making the way towards traps. Well, there you have it. I'll give you my thoughts in a moment, shall we? I'm just going to gather my breath here, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'd say taking a sneaky look at the betting more likely, Ian. Anyway, I have 6 bookmarked in this race, Ian, so you're getting to pick second. So let's take a look at a couple of these in more detail. Trap 2, Apothecary. I think it's something to do with a surgeon's hardware shop, Apothecary. I could be wrong. I have been wrong in the past before. This one, he's won 3 of his 7. She has rather won 3 of her 7 A1 races around here. She clocked 28.21 in September last year with a 2:03 split. Now that run would not only win this, but it would win it by some distance. Obviously she's not in the same form since she's trailed in at the back of the field on her last 2 races, but they were in slightly better class than this, and she certainly does have the ability to run a big race. However, she's 3-1 out to 6-1 this evening, so not a lot of market confidence behind her. Next one we're going to have a look at is Trap 3, Waikiki Bomber, currently 5-2 second favourite. This one is son of Droopy's Jet and Bramble Bonnie for Peter Cronin. Just touched off here last week. He loves running around Waterford. In fact, he's 7 from 13 around Waterford, and he has shown brilliant early pace in the Kirby a couple of weeks ago. He looked like he was going to qualify for the 3rd round, but he just faded out of it coming home towards the bend. He's 0 from 4 around Shelbourne Park, And look, he's going to have a good race to the bend with trap 6, who's the next one we're going to have a look at here. Ballinakill in trap 6, as I did mention for Larry Dunne. Not sure if you heard me, 18 years ago since Moby Gamble won the Easter Cup. That makes us all feel old. This fella, he ran last week on the Kirby Memorial Final night. He won a sprint in 1854. That's fair going for a sprint in Limerick 1854. He is an inside seed, but he has won from trap 6 over course and distance, and he beat the smart Sunshine Hero in doing so. If he gets a level break, for me, he's the one they all have to catch. Having said that, now Waikiki Bomber can go up very well. And don't forget, the old man of the party, Ian, you said he's as old as yourself. He's a good bit younger than you, I can confirm that. He has 17 wins. He's been a really, really great servant for Liam Hughes. He's almost notched up €10,000 in prize money. Lord Boomerang for Tommy Woods. Tommy's dog ran earlier on that set the race up for Graham Holland's winner. The name escapes me at the moment, but this fella has a decent card. He's 4 wins from 26, 28.99 around here, and 29.03. May struggle from the draw with early pace sort of surrounding him in 3 and 6. So I'm nailing my colours to trap 6, Ballinakill. I'll give you a quick show of betting before I ask for your selection, Ian, so you can't change the market on me. It's now even money trap 6, Ballinakill, 2-1 trap 3, Waikiki Bomber, and it's 6-1 bar. Ian, your thoughts and your selection, please.
My thoughts, trap 6 Ballinakill should go to the front at some point, but he will need a clear enough advantage. He is a very short runner. 525 yards is probably 30 or 40 yards further than he actually wants to race. There is a bit of early on the inside, but whether they can all clear each other is the problem. Apothecary is normally a professional starter. Now, she's been out of the frame in her last 2 starts, but trap 3 Waikiki Bomber has a 125 at Limerick and a 130 at Limerick, so he's certainly capable of going up fast. If I can't go for trap 6, I'll go with trap 3 Waikiki Bomber. As I said about trap 6 Ballinakill, if he doesn't lead, he doesn't win, and even if he does lead, he's going to need to have a clear enough advantage. I'll go with Waikiki Bomber, maybe just to get first run.
Yeah, Port Lomond Flash and Trap 1 just deserves a quick mention for the Dohertys. Doherty's long-time supporters of Greyhound racing around Shelbourne Park. It'd be great to see them have a winner. He's currently a 6-1 chance. So they're just about to load up. Ian, I'm with trap 6 Ballinakill. Hopefully blasts out and make all, and I can level the scores up with 1 apiece with you. We're heading to the halfway point of the card, so I need to start levelling up the scores. Anyway, Ian, they're just about to load, so over to you for the race commentary.
Yeah, just to mention there on Portlemont Flash, of course, he would have been trained by the late John Donnelly, who passed away in recent months, and we send on our condolences to his family. A great doggy man, and I know Portlemont Flash was a very decent one for him. Certainly last year, 28.39 here at Shelbourne Park last September. It'd be great to see him producing that type of run. Well, runners now in traps for this 6th race. The book your trials online, A1. There's the bell. The runners: 1 Portlemont Flash, 2 is Apothecary, 3 Waikiki Bomber, 4 Lord Boomerang, 5 is Cool Legend, and out in 6 the early paced Ballinakill. The hare coming up behind traps. Racing, good start on the inside by 1 Portlemont Flash, 3 Waikiki Bomber, and there goes 6 Ballinakill on the outside, clears his rivals and races on by 2.5. 2 in second, 1 Portlemont Flash. Back in third you have 4 Lord Boomerang, but it is 6 Ballinakill. Is he far enough clear? He's got 3.5 in hand on 1 Portlemont Flash. A gap in third to 4 Lord Boomerang, but out front and it is 6 Ballinakill, but Portlemont Flash is closing the gap quickly up the line. Portlemont Flash goes on to win for Margaret Doherty. Second is 6 Ballinakill, 4 Lord Boomerang third. The winning time 28.57. A fine display by Portlemont Flash for Margaret Doherty. Well, Barry, what do you think about that? We gave it a late mention, of course, formerly trained by John Donnelly, who passed away in recent times. A good winner, Ballinakill, just not getting home, I'm afraid.
Yes, of course, in condolences to the Donnelly family. Yes, great to see the Dohertys having a winner, Declan and Margaret Doherty. As you say, Ballinakill didn't come away great, but he has superb early pace, and he got himself to the front. He got himself a nice 3 or 4 length lead down the back straight. You mentioned in commentary, is he far enough clear? A quick glance at the card sees that Port Lomond Flash was on the comeback trail. I was thinking maybe he was short of a run, and that the Larry Dunn owned Graham Holland trained Ballinakill could just hold on, but the writing was on the wall at the 550 boxes, and Port Lomond Flash ran on well. Trap 6, as you do mention, Ballinakill really does struggle to get the 5.25. Nonetheless, they should have a bit of fun with him with that super early pace. Ian, let's just have a look at it one more time.
Yeah, as you can see on the outside, Balnakill Jet come away reasonably actually by his standards, shows good early speed. You know, to clear them by a good length, you know, it's fairly impressive racing. The real early pacers on the inside didn't get loose. Waikiki Bomber and Apothecary, and out front it is 6 Balnakill Jet, but he only has that 4 lengths. At halfway, he probably needed more. Portlamont Flash, when he was running at his best last year, he was a real strong runner. He was doing a lot of running from the third bend home, and just like he is tonight, he's galloping up the home straight. Really wins by 3 or 4 lengths in the end from Balnakill Jet, who is bidding a faster treat, and 4 running on Lord Boomerang. But a good victor there, trap 1, Portlamont Flash.
Yes, he certainly was. We have a look at it a couple of times there. So yeah, a nice prospect going forward. He is an August 18, but he is quite lightly raced. Only has the 11 starts, and that's his 3rd win now. And a nice one to look forward to the summer for the Dohertys. Now, next up in Limerick, it's the 2nd heat of the Limerick Oaks. Of course, we've 2 non-runners here. Trap 3, Skywalker Angie is a non-runner, and Trap 4, Cheeky Lily is a non-runner. So 3 of the 4 are due to qualify. For what it's worth, I'm going to take a chance on Clonasky in trap 1 for Graham Holland. She's a bit of early pace. So I think they're just about to parade on Limerick, so we'll throw down to Limerick for the parade.
Runners lining up for this 2nd heat. Only 1 will be eliminated here, with 3 going through. Unfortunately, Skywalker Angie and Cheeky Lily do not run, but the first one we'll see for the 2nd opening round heat, Clonasky for Kevin O'Brien and Clonakilty, trained by Graham Holland. This one, an excellent performer, daughter of Lochel Blake, best of 28.51 in Curraheen Park in Cork. 2 in the blue jacket sees Bretton Avril go to post for Richard Garneman and Ballymcgilligan, trained by James O'Regan. 3, Skywalker Angie is out. 4, Cheeky Lily is out. So we have 5 then, Miss Minnie Mall for Thomas O'Donovan in Grantstown and Tipperary, on the start of its career. In Newbridge, 6 then is Right So Bell for Sean Corrigan in Wicklow. Very experienced sort, May 18, but March 18 has 10 wins from 41 starts and a best of 28.43 in Shelbourne.
Yes, thanks.
Due off in
Ger.
3 minutes.
Thanks, Jer. So we're going to have a look at a couple of these in a little bit more detail. In trap 1, first up, Clonasky. Currently your 6-4 favourite, just ahead of trap 6, Right So Bell at 7-4. This one is immaculately bred, the Coolavani Pearl line. She's thrown some fabulous performers such as Clonagh Blaze, Doolan Duke, New In Session, just to name but a few. Led for much of the trip here last week on her Limerick debut. She's 28.50 around Cork. She's good early pace and she's very well drawn. Looks a likely leader. Next one we're going to have a look at is Bretton Avril. This one currently 5-2 in the betting. She was in the same race as Clonasky here last week, in behind Scooby Princess. She didn't get much of a run and her chance was gone at halfway. For win purposes, you'd like to see her lead trap 1. I'm not sure how possible that is. She's brilliant previous form, 28.36 in Cork. She's won 8 of her 26 starts. Her dam was good and she threw some useful pups. We were going to have a look at trap 3, Skywalker Angie. She's a non-runner. The dogs are heading out behind traps. Emma, I'm going to side with trap 1. Can you give us your selection here, please?
Yeah, Barry, this is a very tricky heat, but I'm going to be with Clonasky, the Cork Oaks winner. She looks very hard to beat on paper. She's going to be quick away, but Bretton Avril is going to be hot in her heels. She's going to be in pursuit of a win tonight, and she is a very, very classy lady. Just to give Right So Bell a mention, she has a very, very good draw. She's going to need to take a flyer tonight, however, because 6 is a bit of a tricky draw here. Miss Minnie Mall, can she do a double for Thomas O'Donovan? We'll find out, I guess, but I'm going to stick with with Clonasky, should I say. Graham Holland has already won this competition 3 times, so I'm sure he'll be looking for another win with Clonasky. A classy lady. It's all going to depend on what happens at Trap Rise. We'll hand you over to Jer as they go to traps.
Certainly on with a great chance of progressing here with Skywalker Angie. Margaret Donovan has been obviously in sensational form, and Cheeky Lily not taking up their places. So the last couple going in now, Bretton Avril and Right So Bell. And we get the all clear. They're all in now for the 2nd opening round heat of the Limerick Oaks. 1 is Clonasky, 2 Bretton Avril, 3 and 4 out, 5 Miss Minnie Mall, 6 Right So Bell. Here's the bunny. And we're off and racing quick at a trap rise with 6 Right So Bell for Sean Corrigan with 2 up the inside, Bretton Avril, and now Bretton Avril leads them down the back here in the Limerick Oaks second heat by a length from 6 Right So Bell. A further length back we've won Clonagh Sky and 5 out the back. Miss Minimal has about 8 lengths to make up, but a great duel up front. It's the blue jacket Bretton Avril for James O'Regan, still clear by 3/4 with 6 won't go away. Right So Bell, it's 2, it's Bretton Avril trying to make every post a winner, and last home to win by a length from 6 in second. Right So Bell closer third. 5 Miss Minimal was running on strongly in 1 Clonagh Sky. They were in a duel then for the Miners. The winning clock here, a big run, 28-39.
Yeah, only the 4 runners, but a cracking contest nevertheless. A really good race from start to finish. Trap 1 expected to make the early pace. She missed a kick, and Bretton Avril took a flyer from Trap 2. You see 1 going up strongly up the inside here, and she almost makes the bend, but just checks off the back of Trap 2. Down the back straight, Right So Bell put in a huge run up on the shoulder of Bretton Avril, and they stayed the same distance between them almost all the way to the line. Trap 1 is still putting in a good run into the third bend, but her stamina is going to give out. I'm not sure she held on for third. We'll have another look now, but a good win for Bretton Avril, 28-38. Trap 6 Right So Bell ran well to grab second. I'm not so sure what got third. Emma, maybe you could tell us what got third, please.
Yeah, Barry, the result actually hasn't been called here in Limerick, so we're just waiting for that to come through. Bretton Avril, though, what a brilliant winner she was. She really did want to be out in front tonight. When Clonagh Sky missed it, she took full advantage. She had a bit of room on her outside, so ran a very clean line down to that corner. I think 5 might have just got up for Thomas O'Donovan, Miss Minimal, but what a run it was. It was a buckle. Bretton Avril just coming out the better of it, but of course, but Clonagh Sky will definitely be back. She just checked there off the first bend, as we saw, but Bretton Avril, I'm sure, Barry, you wouldn't mind owning her.
I certainly wouldn't, Emma. I wouldn't mind owning any of them, to be honest with you. There's a couple of nice bitches in there. We'll just confirm what got third place for you, the all-important third place, and moves on to next week's semi-final. So it's just got to confirm now 2, 6 and 1. So the Graham Holland trained Clonagh Sky did hang on for a third pace. Don't give up on her yet. She can come away much better than that, and you've seen she has shown some really good early pace up to the bend, so she's well worth another chance next week. Next race here now in Shelbourne is race 7, and this is a semi-final of the retired Greyhound Trust A Open 525 semi-final. I can't give you my selection here first because Ian will think I am cheating, but it's a decent little contest. As I say, semi-final competition. First 3 of these will progress to next week's final. I'll give you a quick show of betting. We've joint favourites in Trap 5 and Trap 6, Our Swans Rock and Gord Kelly Nestor, both at 9-4. Next one in after these is Jetstream Chief at 3-1. It's 4-1 Urban Fire for Reggie Roberts, 4-1 Drombeg Dream for Fergal McAuliffe and Evan McAuliffe in Kilmallock, and Trap 1 Colston Apache is the outsider at 5-1. So if anybody wants to have a little laugh, have a look back at Gord Kelly Nestor's run last week when a certain commentator thought he hadn't got up, but in fact he had. Ian, left with a bit of egg on your face. Ian, you're first to get selections here in this race, so sorry about that, Ian, but I do owe you from last Monday when you verbally assaulted me on the Talking Dogs podcast.
Sure, if I verbally assaulted you. I was thinking earlier on that Jimmy Buckley's leather baseball cap would look well on you, Barry. This 7th race, Gord Kelly Nestor. Yeah, I actually, if you listen to the commentary, said to myself, I think I've been done here. And I said, you know what, I called the other dog, I'll stick with it, but I think we'll leave it to the judge. Anyway, the runners on parade for this 7th race. And so the runners parading for this retired Greyhound Trust Open 525. One is Colston Apache, owned by Seamus Shanks Whelan. Son of Ballymac Skin Air Down Rena, good winner in 28.69 last time. 2 is Urban Fire for Reggie Roberts, the son of Law Hill Blake and Idle Gossip. 2 wins from 9, he's returning from a layoff. 3 is Drombeg Dream, owned by Fergal McAuliffe and Evan McAuliffe, a son of Rio Quattro and Honey Pound Chick. 7 times the scorer. 4 is Jetstream Chief Paul Kiley for Mike Freshwater, son of Law Hill Blake and Jetstream Babs. 28.53 underestimated last time out. 5 Hour Swans Rock for Jerry Merriman. Joe and Brendan Sweeney, a son of Patsy Sabbath and Highview Jane. He's got a 28.53 in this card here at Shelbourne Park. And out in trap 6 is Gord Kelly Nestor for Andrew Murray, a son of Drubby's Jet. Dream Queen arrived from out of the clouds last week to lead on the line. They are the runners. It is your 7th race tonight. The Retired Greyhound Trust Open 525. Let's get your thoughts, Barry.
Thanks, Ian. There's no need to be so defensive. I was only having a joke with you, you know. Anyway, I can't wear the baseball hat with a suit. It just wouldn't have the look. Let's have a look at a couple of these in a little bit more detail. The first one we're going to look at is Jetstream Chief. This was a son of Log Hill Blake and Jetstream Babs, February 19. He was a fine winner here last week and making all in 28.53. He's on a hat-trick now after coming from behind to win at Waterford. He was a semi-finalist in the National Puppy Stake here last November. He certainly won with potential. He's currently trading at 3-1. The next one we're going to have a look at is Trap 5, Our Swans Rock for Jerry Merriman. Already had a winner earlier on in one of our earlier contests. This fellow, he's a really likeable sort. He can do it both ways, I suppose. He's having his 22nd race here tonight, and just a brief look back at his card shows that he's been in open race company since his 3rd race and now runs his 22nd race tonight. Like, he's been a really, really solid performer. Has been in tough grade recently, the likes of Ballymac Captain and Cameco. This does represent a slight grade drop in class for me. And finally, in Trap 6 is my selection, Ian, Gord Kelly Nestor. He boasts a good strike rate, 8 wins from 25. He has been running in the Open Super Sprint in Cork, sponsored by Greyhound and Pet World. And a big run here last week, Ian, when coming from off the pace. And usually he can lead, and I think a 2:24 sectional last week doesn't show the true story. This fella can come out in sub 2:10, and if he does, it surely will be an improvement on his 28.83 from last week. I expect him to do maybe 28.60 if he can come out with them. So finally, a quick show of betting in before I get your selection. Gord Kelly Nestor and Our Swans Rocks are still currently 9-4 joint favourites. It's 7-2 Jetstream Chief, 5-1 Drumbeg Dream and Urban Fire, and it's 6-1 Trap 1 Colston Apache. Trap 2 Urban Fire for Reggie Roberts. Reggie has had some fabulous greyhounds around Shelbourne Park, the likes of Awesome Impact, and he's too many to mention. This fellow, he hasn't had a race since last December. A couple of decent trials on the comeback, 28.84 and 28.70 around Newbridge. He's certainly one to look forward to for the summer. So Ian, as I said, I'm going to go with Gord Kelly Nestor. I really need to level up the scores. What's your selection here, Ian?
Well, I was going to go for Gord Kelly Nestor, but you're after taking that memory, Barry, despite the fact that you were going to say I was getting the choice here. So I think I get first choice in the next 2 races. If you're going for Gord Kelly Nestor, I'll side with Our Swans Rock in Trap 5. To be honest, I think it's one of those races where if you ran it 10 times, you'd probably get 5 different winners. I think you could make realistic claims for each and every one of these runners. Colston Apache, a good winner last time out in 28.69, although up 3 grades now, was A3 on that occasion. Urban Fire returning after a layoff. Even though it's trialled well, will probably come on for it. But no, I'll go with Trap 5, Our Swans Rock. As you can see, they are being placed in traps now for this 7th race. And so they're all in for this 7th contest here tonight at Shelbourne Park. This is the Retired Greyhound Trust Open 525 semi-final. 1 Colston Apache, 2 Urban Fire, 3 Drumbeg Dream, 4 Jetstream Chief, 5 is Our Swans Rock, and 6 is Gord Kelly Nestor. The hair up behind traps. Racing, good start by Trap 5, Our Swans Rock. Leads into the opening turn from the inside, 2 Urban Fire and 6 on the outside, Gord Kelly Nestor, but into the back, and it is 2 Urban Fire in his return after layoff. Leads down the far side by a length. 2 in second, 5 Our Swans Rock and 6 Gord Kelly Nestor to the 3rd bend. Still 2 Urban Fire, but 5 is still on his heels. Our Swans Rock. Gord Kelly Nestor tries to draw closer, but Urban Fire out front leads off the final turn to the line. Here comes Our Swans Rock. One last challenge. It's tight. 2 Urban Fire and 5 Our Swans Rock. Gord Kelly Nestor not far behind. A thrilling finish. The winning time 28.53. Has Urban Fire held on, or has Our Swans Rock got there in the closing yards? Give us your thoughts, Barry. What's up?
Oh, you've done me, Ian. It's 2-0. I'm pretty sure Our Swans Rock has got there. Oh, this is devastating stuff. I'm 2-0 down with 5 races to go. Let's have a look there. We might be able to see it. I was pretty sure 5 got it at first look. 10 yards to go. He's getting there slowly and just on the nods at the right time. Oh, maybe he'll just hold off on that one. Too definitely bobbed at the right time, but yeah, it was a brilliant race, brilliant finish. Trap 2, he'll definitely come on for the run, as I say, and that's his first race since last December. Let's have another look at it. Trap 5 came away well. 2 did show really good early pace up the insides. 6 missed it again for a sprinter. It's not ideal, running over 5.25, missing the kick. So set for a great battle down the back straight. Urban Fire and Our Swans Rocked. 2 classy enough performers. Urban Fire with those 2 comeback try. Here we go, listening to the apologies. Just waiting for the result. Hasn't been called as yet. I apologise for that. So as you see them coming up the home straight, 2 desperately trying to hang on. It's close. On first thoughts, I thought 5 had got there, but looking at the slow-mo, I thought 2 bobbed just at the right time. Ian, you're probably in a better position than me. What was your first thoughts of who just got?
I just got the phone call, Barry. You'll be delighted to hear that 5 got up in the closing strides, Our Swans Rock, to deny Urban Fire, Gord Kelly Nestor, back in third. 28.53, the winning time. Shake it off, Barry, shake it off. There's a long way to go yet. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
No, this is torturous. This is torturous. There we go. Let's have another look. Our Swans Rock, yeah, he is a likeable sort, as I said. He's a Shelbourne regular. Done it the right way there tonight. Came away well, showed good early pace, stayed wide. He's tracking down a good performer in Urban Fire, who definitely will come on for the run. As I say, it's his first run since last December. He stays wide here at Our Swans Rock. Good bit of track craft, chasing down the eventual second. Gord Kelly Nestor running on well in third place, but as I said, can't afford to keep on missing the kick over 5.25 as a sprinter, and just bobs it at the right time. So 5, a double on the card for the Merrymen's Our Swans Rock. So we're going to pass on down to Emma in Limerick. Emma, you have another guest for us?
Yeah, Barry, what a strong heat we have here. Cunningar Spice goes from trap 1. A good winner here last week, but she does step back up in class tonight. She's going to need to be very quick away to go to the bend with the likes of Scooby's Princess for Jennifer O'Donnell. What a lady she was here last week. I was lucky enough to see her comeback trial, and she's been coming back very well, slowly but surely. If she traps tonight like she did last week, she's going to take all the beating. The rest of them are going to have to be on the top of their game. Magical Poppy for Pat Guilfoyle, who we heard from a little bit earlier. She's brilliant, really. She's going to need a blistering break, however. But I'm going to send you to Ger for the parade.
And the one that lead them out is Cunningar Spice for Aoife O'Keefe in Waterford. Started its career in Youghal with some very big performances, looking to get back to some of the previous runs. A win last time out, though, in an A1. Bodes well. 2 in the blue jacket, Scooby Princess for Steve Noble in Harlow. And Harrow in England, trained by Jennifer O'Donnell. 10 wins from 31. This one, a scintillating performer at its best. 3 then is Magical Poppy for Donal and Pat Guilfoyle. 2 wins from 4. Still very inexperienced, I'm sure. Some big runs to come for that one. 4 then is Nutty Gem for Brendan O'Shea and Donald Brennan. This one started its career in Newridge and a big win here last time out. 4 is New in Lisa for Simon Taylor and Graham Holland. Another one with just only a handful of starts. 2 wins from 7. Daughter of Loggle Blake. And then 6, the Christmas Oaks winner in Shelbourne Park of last year, Miss Joss for the Mullins Curtin Syndicate. Yes. 1881, a decent.
Thanks, Jared. The first one we're going to have a look at here in a little bit more detail is Trap 2, Scooby's Princess. Jennifer O'Donnell was quoted as saying she expects her to improve for the run last week. Any improvement on 28.64 now, the rest of them are in trouble. She'd been off since December 2020 and returned April the 21st, as I say, with a 28.24 win. She's 28.12, beg your pardon, in Shelbourne Park, and 29.53 for the 550. She's a big chance here currently. You're 11-8 favourite. Next up, I'm going to look at Magical Poppy for Pat Guilfoyle. Huge debut in 28.69 in Shelbourne, first time in the first round of the Puppy Oaks. She had 2.85 section on the next round. She completely missed her break. She was 10 lengths behind Scooby's Princess last week, but she has time on her side and she can possibly improve. She's 7-2. And the last one I'm going to look at is Trap 6, Miss Joss for the Mullins Curtin Syndicate. This one is your 2-1 second favourite. Fabulous strike rate, 6 from 16, won £9,000 in prize money. Some fabulous times, 28.12, 28.26 and 28.29. Just Emma, just get your last thoughts before they load up.
3 win, Scooby Princess.
Yeah, look, New and Lisa could very easily lead to the first turn. She's very good with her early pace, but if you are backing her, just beware she is a bit of a shorter runner. I'm going to stick with Scooby's Princess, however, to hold to hold a win tonight, but we'll see what happens. So I'll hand you over to Ger for the commentary.
And they're all in. And from the rails out, 1 is Cunnagar Spice, 2 is Scooby Princess, 3 Magical Poppy, 4 Nutty Gem, 5 New and Lisa, 6 Miss Joss, 3 to go through. Here's the bunny. And we're off in racing 4 Nutty Gem for Donny Brennan. Shows quick early foot now to lead him at the opening bend, but quickly now 5 New and Lisa for Simon Taylor, and Graham Holland goes clear by a length from 4 back in second. 2 wide running Scooby Princess, but this one will be motoring home, as will 6 there Miss Joss, who's trying to slip up the inside, and Miss Joss is narrowly checked there, and it's 2 now Scooby Princess from 4 Nutty Gem, 1 trying to qualify back in third, but it's 2 Scooby Princess goes on to score, up for second, 4 hangs on to be second Nutty Gem. And it looked like 1 Cunnagar Spice back in third. 28.47, a bit of trouble in behind there, but Scooby Princess, one of the market favourites, goes through. 28.47.
Thank you, Jerry. Yeah, it's a great run there again by Scooby Princess. Let's have a look at them. New in Lisa missed the start, but just look at that for a bit of early pace. She has phenomenal early pace and gets to the lead by the first bend. Comes across, but she just wasn't far enough clear, and you knew at this stage Scooby Princess only a length or 2 behind her. She was going to pick her up. Miss Josh showed huge pace into the third bend and just challenged at the wrong time. If she had been another half a length further clear, she would have made it around, but she runs wide off the third bend and loses all chance of qualifying. But up front, Scooby Princess for Jennifer O'Donnell, flying home, wins in 28.47. The other ones to qualify, Nutty Gem and Cunningar Spice back in third. Emma, you did mention New in Lisa's early pace. She did show it, but she really missed the start. She looks a short runner, but again, it's a good win by Scooby Princess, and she looks like she could take some stopping.
Yeah, although New and Lisa did miss the kick, she showed a nice dash of early to the first turn. It just wasn't meant to be for her. When you have the likes of Scooby's Princess, a strong enough runner home, you always knew she was going to be a bit of a sitting duck. But what a run from Scooby's Princess. Jennifer O'Donnell will be absolutely delighted with how this lady is coming back. Miss Josh, a little bit unlucky, just checked there coming off the third, coming into the fourth. Possibly just a bit unlucky. Cunningar Spice, though, she's stepping it back up in class, and she was a very good qualifier here as well. Nutty Gem also qualifying. She was the youngster in the race. She's coming from the unrace in Newbridge. I thought inexperience might just catch her out, but she has run a massive race to qualify there. But full credit to Scooby's Princess in 2. Again, another one I wouldn't mind owning, Barry.
Yeah, thanks, Emma. I wouldn't mind owning any of them myself either. Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Emma. So next here, race 8 in Shelbourne Park, and we have a non-runner in trap 3. Riverside Chester is a non-runner. No reserve running from trap 3. We have a short price one in trap 2. Ian is going first for his selection, so no doubt he's going to pick trap 2, and it could be 3-0 down. So I'll just give you a show of betting. Ballymac Ice Cool is 9-2. It's 4-7 Jumeirah Bridge for Jerry Hall in trap 2. 4-1 Legal Thriller. 4-1 Bless the Hulk, and 4-1 Show Business out in trap number 6. I would have sided with trap 2 here, Jumeirah Bridge, but I'm sure Mr. Fortune will nip in ahead of me and pick him. Ballymac Ice Cool is running well for George Roach. George has his Greyhounds in tremendous form recently, and this fella is perfectly drawn on the inside tonight. So Ian, can I get you to pick your selection? Please don't pick trap 2.
Better again, I'll give you your selection. You're on trap 2 here, Jumeirah Bridge. We heard Jerry Holian speaking of this dog last week on Racing Post Greyhound Television from Limerick. He had run in the sprint down there, speaking to our own Robert Catterson. Said this dog had his problems, but he was very talented. No question he was. 28-28 here at Shelbourne Park last October. If he repeated that form, he's going to take some stopping. But I'm going to side with trap 4 Legal Thriller, really taken by his latest display of a 2:18, producing a 28.58 run here at Shelbourne Park. It was also pretty taken by Show Business last time. He showed great early speed in a good contest. It was an A1 contest. He's up in grade, 28.57. I know Legal Thriller won an A3 last time, but he's only a September 19. He really is coming forward. So I'm going to go with Legal Thriller, so you can have 2 Jumeirah Bridge. Well, as you can see, the runners parading now for this 8th race, the second semi-final of the retired Greyhound Trust Open 525. 1 Ballymac Ice Cool for Georgie Roach, who was his dogs in flying order, a son of Ballymac Matt and Ballymac Scala. In 2 is Jumeirah Bridge, Jerry Holian for Dennis Curtin, son of Droopy's Jet, Jumeirah Lulls, 4 wins from 11 outings. In 4, Legal Thriller, the likely race runner here, owned by Michael Buckley, Jack Buckley, a son of Jumeirah Brandon. Jumeirah Charm, 28.58 last time with better to come. 5, Bless the Hulk, owned by Jerry Melia, son of Greenwell Hulk and Holy Cross Leah. And completing the lineup in 6 is Show Business. Jonathan Rawl owns and trains this son of Law Hill Blake and Show Busy. Showed great early speed to make all last time out. He's won 8 of his 29 starts and certainly one to consider. It's the 8th race in your card. They're making the way towards traps. It's over to you, Barry. Give us your thoughts.
Yeah, thanks a million, Ian. So I'm on 2, you're on 4. I really need to pull this one back. We're going to have a look at a couple of these in a little bit more detail. Trap 2 is first up currently. Your 4-7 favourite, Jumeirah Bridge, trained by Jerry Holohan. As you did allude to, Ian, he did say in an interview last week that this fella will improve for the run. He ran well to finish second. He's got some massive form in the book here. If you go back to late last year, a 28 win around here. And Jerry likes this dog. Could be well drawn with nothing on his outside. The next one we're going to have a look at is your selection in Legal Thriller. Currently 7-1 now from an early 4-1. Jerry Holohan, the trainer of Trap 2, actually trained this one's dam, Jumeirah Charm. And the sire, probably not too familiar to most of you. He won plenty of races. Only ran the 5 races, and he 28.50 on his debut, and he contested a 2017 Derby. That's Jumeirah Brand. So yeah, Legal Thriller. It was only an A3 that he won here last week, but he certainly did win it in style in 28.58. As I say, in 7-1, so bit of value there. And finally, we're going to look at Trap 6, Show Business, for owned and trained by Jonathan Raleigh in Wexford, currently an 11-2 chance. He's a dog in real form lately. He's won A2, A1, and now up to A Open. He won by 7.5 lengths last time out. That was his 8th win of his career. He's a member of a really, really fast litter. Although he is a middle seed, he has won his last 2 races from Trap 6. Of the rest, Ballymac Ice Cool, as I did mention, George Roach, his runners are in really good form. This fella's won 3 of his 11 starts. He's currently a 9-2 chance. And I did mention that Riverside Chester is a non-runner. So I'm going to take a chance at Trap 2. Not really taking a chance, I suppose, when it's 4-7, but I think Trap 2 could make all. I think he's a promising sort. That was a big run last week when missing the break in a really hot sprint behind a top sprinter in Two Amigos. I'm going to take him to make all and claw the deficit back to 2-1. Ian, you're on 4. Last thoughts?
Yeah, no, I'll stick with my Trap 4, Legal Thriller. He's certainly on an upward trajectory. 28.58 last time. It was considerably better than anything he had achieved in his previous start. So there's no reason why there can't be more improvement. As I said, or as you said, a son of Jumeirah Brand and Jumeirah Charm. Jumeirah Charm was certainly very talented. Jumeirah Brand also very talented, but lightly raced. A dog that had a shortened career. It'd be interesting to see how he goes with his first few pups. I know 1 or 2 of this litter have shown real promise, and hopefully Legal Thriller will make it 3-0 to myself. Anyway, as you can see, the loading process is underway. Could be a good run to the corner here. There's good early speed. 1 Ballymac Ice Cool has a 3.25 around Enniscorthy. That's moving. Jumeirah Bridge, that 2.08 here last year when he did his massive run, and the fact that they've sprinted him suggests he has plenty of early dash. 4 Legal Thriller, I'm sure, will improve for his 2.18. Bless the Hulk, 2.10 last time out to set a strong gallop. Didn't find an awful lot home, although he has a couple of finish wells in his card. And Show Business, as I said last time out, missed the kick but did show good early speed to take up the running around the opening bend. They're in traps now for this 8th race. Well, they're all in traps now for this 8th race here at Shelbourne. The retired Greyhound Trust Open 5-2-5. 1 Ballymac Ice Cool, 2 Jumeirah Bridge, 3 is vacant, 4 Legal Thriller, 5 Bless the Hulk, and out in 6 Show Business. Hair up behind traps. Racing, good start by Trap 2, Jumeirah Bridge, 1 Ballymac Ice Cool on the outside of them, 5 Bless the Hulk and 6 Show Business, but 2 Jumeirah Bridge has stretched on by 5 lengths, 2 in second, 5 Bless the Hulk, then comes 6 Show Business, but out front, and 2 Jumeirah Bridge really stretching this field, clear into the third bend, from in second 5 Bless the Hulk, then comes 1 Ballymac Ice Cool on the inside of 6 Show Business, but Trap 2, Jumeirah Bridge, too good for them on this occasion, races out, a comfortable winner, tight for second with 5 Bless the Hulk, trying to contain 4 Legal Thriller, who really catches the eye in the closing yards. The winning time 28.55. A fine run by Jumeirah Bridge for Jelly Holian and Dennis Curtin.
Yeah, thanks a million there, Ian. Yeah, fantastic performance. 16-11 to the third bend. Came away well and showed real good early pace. Just made the bend. One just slightly eased off and allowed him to go clear. But he showed electric pace from here down into the third bend. As I say, 16-11. That's fair going. Stretches them out a good 5-6 lengths clear. Bless the Hulk running well in second for Jerry Holohan. he ran on well enough, but it was over as a contest. This fella, as I say, 28-28 last year. He's definitely going to be one to look forward to this year. He could contest some of the major competitions, and I think he will improve for that run. 28.55. I have a good vantage point here, and he did look to be tiring in the last 50 yards or so. There's definitely room to improvement. Your one, Ian, Legal Thriller, definitely ran well. Another one to keep an eye on. We're going to head to Limerick now for the final, quarter final. Just having one more look at that race first before we head down there. So we'll take it from the start again. Trap 4, yeah, really did miss the break there for you, Ian. You were on the back foot straight away. But as I say, good early pace from Trap 2. Jumeirah Bridge leads into the back straight. Breast the Hulk for Jerry Merriman, Jerry Media, lightly raced Son of Greenwell Hulk. He's a big 81 pounder. He ran well in second place. That's only his 7th start. But as I say, Jumeirah Bridge, yeah, he's one to look forward to. Son of Drippy's Jet and Jumeirah Law's well bred. And I'm sure, as you can see there, the last 50 yards, his stride certainly does shorten, and he's one to look forward to. So now we are going to go for the final quarter final of the Oaks in Limerick.
Thanks, Barry. This heat might not be as strong as the last, but still a very, very competitive. Lady Lewis goes from trap 1. She's very well drawn on the rail, but she takes a massive step up in class tonight, going from A2 to AAO. Border Electric in trap 2. She's the early place type lady. It is possible she can lead early on, but she also takes a jump up through the grades, going from A3 to a AAO. Ballymac Orna for Declan Byrne. He's no stranger to Oaks success, of course. He won the Oaks back in 2020 with Ballymac Beanie. And this lady, well, she could be on the same course. She looks very hard to beat tonight, and I think she can win comfortably. I'm actually going to make her my nap. Long Isabel in trap 4 ran very well around Shelbourne Park and claimed the A4 stake there, but she has a lot of class to compete with tonight. Jumeirah Spring for my own Uncle Jimmy. She ran very well in the feet here around Limerick last night. She's very well bred. She's improving, and she could be a likely qualifier. Finally, Kyle Beauty for the local man, Joe Williams. She is a strong runner, possibly better suited to a 570 600 yard trip, but she'll be staying on well, so keep an eye on her on the run in home. But back to you, Barry, because I'd like to know your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, thanks a million, Emma. Best of luck to your uncle here as well in this heat. So our current favourite is Ballymac Orna, but we're going to take a look at a couple of these. The first one we're going to look at is Trap 2, Border Electric. Impressive over course and distance here last week. She flew out and made all in 28.61. It was only an A3, however, and this is her first attempt in open company. She's currently 4-1. Next up, Trap 3, Ballymac Orna, currently your even money favourite. She made her debut in that hot Brownstown Tango unraced stake in Newbridge. She clocked 28.49 in her first race around Shelbourne Park and bettered that with a 28.42 in the first round of the Puppy Oaks. No luck in the second round, but she's well bred and she definitely has a bright future ahead. As I say, even money favourite. And the final one I'm going to have a look at here is Trap 4, Long Isabella for James Wade and Anne Wade. Opened her account in 28.53 in Shelbourne. Similar to Trap 2, it was only an A4, but she done it well, coming from off the pace to win going away. And she's a half sister to the 2018 Bitch of the Year, Vancouver. So as they make their way towards traps, Ballymac Orna is still your even money favourite. It's 4-1 Border Electric, 4-1 Long Isabella, 5 Jumeirah Spring, it's 8 Lady Lewis, and 10-1 Bar 1. So Emma, just briefly give us your last thoughts and good luck to your uncle with Trap 5 here.
For next Saturday night semi-final is going to be...
Yeah, Barry, I'm going to stick with Ballymac Orna in trap 3. She could lead early. Hopefully she can claim that rail and get a clean run round the bend, because she is my selection. Jumeirah Spring is a likely qualifier in my opinion. She is improving, but she's going to need a little bit of luck in running. She's a bit far out in 5, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed for Uncle Jimmy all the way down from Galway. Lady Lewis, she is very well drawn on the rail. She does have a good bit of early, but is it a bit of a step up for her tonight? We will find out. Border Electric, again, another early pace type. There could be a run to the bend here between the first 3, but again, another lady coming up through the grades. Kyle Beauty, it would be nice to see a local winner for Joe Williams. She is a stronger type. She's definitely going to be finishing strong, so I wouldn't like to see her too close behind me. Long Isabel, a very good bitch around Shelbourne. She has good form there. She took the A4 and she definitely is a competitor this evening. Looking forward to seeing the qualifiers in this heat. They're just about to go into boxes and we're going to hand you over to Ger as they go into boxes.
Border Electric coming up behind the box. Long Isabel going in 6, Kyleton Beauty. A couple of local runners in this one here. So Long Isabel for James Wade and Anne Wade, the last one to be loaded up. And the green Limerick flag goes up from the rails out. 1 is Lady Lewis, 2 Border Electric, 3 is Ballymacorna, 4 Long Isabel, 5 Jamira Spring, and 6 Kyleton Beauty. 3 to go through. Here's the bunny. And we're off and racing to a trap rise, very quick out. Border Electric living up to its name, followed by 3 Ballymaccorna, and these two go 1-2 down the back, and Ballymaccorna now goes on, and this one for Declan Byrne leads quickly by about 4 lengths from 2. Border Electric hasn't got the pace to go with this one up front, then 4 Long Isabel coming into it, 1, 5 and 6 out the back of the field, but they're getting ever closer to the final stretch here, and Ballymaccorna is on for a big spin here, clear by about 6 or 7 lengths with 2 Border Electric, no match in second, and 3 Ballymaccorna. What a performance. 2 hangs on to be second. Border Electric back in third was 4 Long Isabel. 28.43 there. Ballymaccorna on just its 6 star. 28.43.
Yeah, thanks, Ger. That's a really big performance there from Ballymaccorna. I think that's the best she's ever come away. Her sectionals in Shelbourne 218, 290, and that's she come away really well there tonight. She does move wide, and I think she'll improve for that spin around the track. You can see her just off the second bend here. She gets a little lost, moves very wide and loses a couple of lengths, but still to clock 28.40. First look around, you can just see her there. She just lost her footing for a stride or two. A huge run. She stays on really well. Trap 2 Border Electric went up well, but she couldn't live at the pace of Ballymaccorna. Trap 4 Long Isabella ran on well to qualify. I think she might have just got up for second, but there's no catching the winner. Ballymaccorna for Declan Byrne. That's only her 6th career start. She looks a really, really promising type. Emma, you tipped that one up there, trap 3. So congratulations. It was a big performance, Emma.
3, 2, 4.
Yeah, she took an absolute flyer, and she did get a little lost, but on your first look at Limerick, that is a little bit expected because it is such a big galloping track. Of course, Border Electric there got up as well. What a brilliant run from her. But it always looked like a Ballymaccorna win. She's a classy lady. The confirmed result is just after coming in here. 3, 2 and 4 your order. Ballymaccorna though, what a lady. She really did them into that first turn. Set a searing gallop down the back and finished very, very well. 4 also took the big step up in class tonight, so it was great to see her qualifying as well. But full credit to Ballymaccorna. Barry, what did you make of her?
Yeah, she was very, very good indeed, and she's going to be one of the more likelier types to win that. So Emma, that's your debut over with. You can relax and breathe. A really, really well done. Great performance, some great interviews. We hope to see you again in the near future. Did you really enjoy yourself?
Yeah, thanks a million, Barry. It's been great to be on the show. I'm going to be off just in time to see Duel and Duke running in Cork. But yeah, it's been a great night here in Limerick. Some great winners, and we're looking forward to next week already. That's
great. Emma, thanks a million. All the best, and the best of luck with Duel and Duke later on this evening. So at least she's finished now. I still have to soldier on for another couple of races. Anyway, next up is race 9 here from Shelbourne Park, the upcoming events AA Open top grade stuff here. It's 2-1 in the Fortune Caul tipping competition, and I'm hopefully going to level up after this race. He's going to have first selection. So I'll just give you a quick show of betting here. We have 2 non-runners. Swords Duke is out. He is going to be replaced by reserve W for Wednesday, which is Ballydoyle Rossa. Trap 5 No All Nick, who was also out. He will be replaced by reserve ex Glen Corby Duke for Jerry Mealia, who had 5 dog run well there in the last race. So I can't really, I would have picked trap 4 here, Swords Duke. It would have been in for Barbara and Leonard Lowndes. Obviously he's a non-runner now, so Ballydoyle Rossa comes in. This fella's only had the 5 races. He's won 2 of them from P.O. Barry and Cashel, running in the Open 600 behind the likes of Billy Steva. So although it's an AA Open, you don't get to race against bitches as good as Ballymacdiva, so it's a little bit of a drop in grade. Had one around Cork in 29.54 over 550 and only his 3rd race, so really, really likeable performer. Looks like he has a big future. Trap draw could work in his favour. So the dogs are just coming out on the parade. Ian, I can't give you my selection yet. We've 2 reserves in here. It's 2-1 to you. It's your pick first. What are you going for?
I was very tempted to go for the reserve, Ballydoyle Rossa, but it's certainly probably on the short side for her. She is immensely fast. I mean, as fast as probably any lady in the country, but 5.25 is not her trip. We saw her running out of her skin in the opening round of the Shelbourne Open 600. She's a real star in the making, have no doubt about that, but just this trip might be a bit short for her. I'm going to go with Rannoch Moore on the inside for Francie Murray. He looked a real star in the making last year. Obviously, something went amiss. He's been missing for the guts of a year, but 28.39 in his latest trial suggests he could be coming right. And the runners now on parade for this 9th race. The upcoming events open 5.25, and a tremendous Trap 1 runner here in the shape of Rannoch Moore for Francie Murray and Howard Wallace. Looked a real talent last year, son of Taylor Skye and Leesy Lindsay. Next in blue is Outnumbered, another talented tracker trained by Mark O'Donovan, who can do very little wrong at present, owned by Bernadette Diskin, Holian and Basil Holian, and this a son of Droopy's Nidge, Coulivanny Royce. 3 is Witches Ethiopia for Adele Toomey, a daughter of Headbound and Witches Bell, of course was a former Oaks winner. This lady will be staying on very stoutly. The same could be said for 4, Ballydoyle Rossa, a star in the making. Ballydoyle Rossa, owned and trained by P.O. Barry, a daughter of Droopy Sydney, Ballymac Razzle. She has immense pace. In 5 is the reserve, Glencorbury Duke, owned by Stephen Barrett and trained by Jerry Amelia, son of Kinloch Bray and Penny's Queen. And completing the lineup in 6 is Another Dream, owned by Mert Lahey for Pat Scully. Ran so wonderfully well in the Gold Cup at the start of the year. The son of Ballymac Esky and Catgirl. He can race to a corner. He'll be prominent in the early yards, but he'll need to set the standard, or set the pace, should I say, in a contest of this strength. They are the runners. They're on the way to traps. Barry, over to you. Again, I'm going with Rannoch Moore.
Yeah, unfortunately, that would have been my selection. Sure, what can you do? Look, I'm going to take a chance on the reserve at Ballydoyle Rossa. As you say, she's a hugely fast bitch. Trip isn't ideal for her. As you can see, her sectionals over 600. She was wagging the tail, as I say, going into the first bend behind most runners. But I'm just hoping she can get a run here this evening. So it's a wide open contest. Don't forget to try maybe a 3 hour forecast on the Barking Buzz app. There's some decent price runners in here, and as I say, it's a wide open contest. So we're going to take a look at a couple here. Well, Outnumbered, we're going to take a look at in trap number 2. Well, the kennel could hardly be in better form. Mark O'Donovan, after winning the Kirby last week, throw in the Select Stakes with Skywalker Barry during the week as well, and they really are in top form. This fella, he's a 28.05 trial back in September 2019. He did contest the Derby in 2020, so they really did think an awful lot of him. He won his first 3 around Waterford, and he was a semi-finalist in the Ledger in 2020. As we mentioned earlier on, Ballydoyle Rossa, hugely fast lady of Droopy Sydney and Ballymac Razzle, really well bred. And the other reserve in trap 5, replacing Noel Nick, Glencorbury Duke for Jerry Amelia. Decent sort, has some good early pace, 2.06 sectional, 28.50 here late last year, and stays 5.75, so he could have a decent draw with trap 4, not likely to show much early pace on his inside. So it's 4 for me, Ian. She's currently 9-4. Rannoch Moore is 5-2. Outnumbered 3-1. It's 6-1 bar. 4 for me, Ian. 1 for you. Best of luck.
Thanks, Barry. I can really sense the genuine, best wishes in your voice there. Yeah, as you can see, they are going to traps. It's an intriguing contest. 1 or 2 of these dogs, the likes of Outnumbered and Rannoch Moore, very talented on their night. Worth pointing out that Outnumbered is a 28.05 trial here back in late September 2019. He is a February 18 whelp, so he's 3 years of age. He's not overly old, but as you can see, they're in traps now for this 9th race. An intriguing affair. And there is the bell for this 9th contest. The upcoming events open 5.25. 1 Rannoch Moore, 2 Outnumbered, 3 Witches Ethiopia, 4 Ballydoyle Rossa, 5 Glencorbury Duke, and 6 is Another Dream. Here up behind traps, racing. 1 Rannoch Moore going up with boxes, and 6 on the outside. Another Dream shows good early speed. Rannoch Moore driving through into second spot now, forces 4 out of the way. Ballydoyle Rossa. It is 6 Another Dream with 1 Rannoch Moore in chase. Then comes 2 Outnumbered, but 6 Another Dream for Pat Scully, and Mert Lahey leads to the 3rd bend. He's got 3.5 lengths in hand over 1 Rannoch Moore. Tail of the field, 4 hit the deck, but she's up and racing. It's out front though. 6 Another Dream leads all the way, makes every yard to beat trap 2 Outnumbered, and 5 Glencorbury Duke. The winning time 28.61.
Yeah, big performance there from Another Dream. I can just confirm that trap 4 Ballydoyle Rossa did get up, and she was perfectly fine past the line. So yeah, a bit of trouble in this race. Trap 1, take a look at him. Rannoch Moore completely misses the start, but look at that for early pace, driving up the inside in, as you say, and he caused Trap 4 a little bit of trouble, and her chance was gone. But Trap 6 out in front, another dream for Mort Lahey. He's been running it's the likes of knocking the ball Sid if you look back at his card, and once out in front he was always going to do a decent spin like that. Trap 4 there, she takes a little tumble, but as I say, she ran past the line, she's perfectly okay. Trap 2 outnumbered, ran on well, seeking the rails coming off the home bend. He looks like he'll improve for the run as well. He hasn't had a race since last December, but take nothing away for the winner. Pat Scully owned another dream. That's win number 9 now from 25 races. Ian, Rannoch Moore selection there certainly missed a break, but my goodness, that was some early pace he showed up the inside there.
He did. He showed fine early dash up the inside, but tied up badly in the closing yards. I wonder will he come on for the run. Ballydoyle Rossa was very unlucky. She was looking likely to turn second until Rannoch Moore came up her inside. She was out the back and she actually clipped heels going at the third bend and lost her footing. But plenty to like about Another Dream. He'd run so well in the Gold Cup at the start of the year, showing fine early speed on every occasion, and tonight did so again. 28.61 from the front, 16.26. Remember, he's entitled to come on for the run too. He's returning after a layoff, outnumbered second, and 5 Glencorbry Duke back in third spot. But a lot to like about Another Dream. Well done to Mort Lahey and to Pat Scully.
Yes, indeed. Well done. Well done. A good win there. Now, earlier on this week, we had the first round of the 2021 Mullingar Cesarewitch Open, which started down in the Westmeath track. So we're going to take a look back at a couple of the heats. So obviously we're going to start with the first heat. I'll give you the runners here. In trap 1 was Corando, 2 Bucko's Pete, 3 Magical Jasper, 4 Early Knoll, 5 Long Trucker, and trap 6 was Auxerre. Let's see how they get on.
Auxerre, and away they go. 6 Auxerre gets away well up the outside. 1 moves wide and hampers a couple on the way, and it is 6 Auxerre who leads the turn. 1 is 3 lengths adrift in second. That's Corando, the Offaly Raider, trailing by about 3 lengths. 4 is flying down the back straight. Early Knoll closes the deficit at a rate of knots into these final turns now. 6 Auxerre goes extremely wide at these tight Mullingar bends. They turn for home. 4 Early Knoll puts them to the sword. It's the black jacket. Early Knoll, your winner. 1 second, 2 third.
Yeah, big performance there by Early Knoll, winning in 33 seconds. Let's take another look at it again. I think it's worth having a look at trap 6 here. Auxerre, first time around the track. It's a specialist track, Mullingar. That third bend can catch a lot of dogs out. Auxerre trapped really well, showed good early pace up the outside. He's been running a top company around here in Shelbourne Park. And if you look at the race there, if it was Shelbourne Park, the race is all over because he's strong in front. He leads from trap 1, Corando, but look at the pace of Early Knoll up the inside into the third bend. Here's where Auxerre just doesn't run that bend well at all. There we go, just runs off wide, gets a bit of a shock to the system, and then takes a bump from trap 1, and that spells the end for him. But Early Knoll runs on really, really well, strong up the home straight, wins by 5 lengths in 33 seconds. Corando ran well in second. He's a Mullingar regular, 30-30 around there. A Magical Jasper for Pat Guilfoyle finished in third. Ian, what did you think? Auxerre didn't really take to the track?
No, it didn't. Got a bit lost around the third and fourth bends. Over 600 yards, he needs to do everything right because while he's strong and he gets to the line, he's not what you'd call a flying finisher. And once he handed away the lead, it was curtains for him. As you can see, trap 4 Early Knoll, a dog I'm more than familiar with, regular here at Shelbourne Park. Like, this dog has come from off the pace to win in 28.40. He won a big race here on Racing Post Television one night, coming from off the pace again. Massive engine, really very fast dog. If things had gone right for him in the early stages of his career, well, we could be talking about him in glowing terms, but as you can see, the pace is still there. Absolutely flew down the far side and powered up the home straight. A lot to like about Early Knoll, but as you can see, Mullingar, a few dogs get lost around the place, and Auxerre was just one of them.
He's won 4 of his last 8, and he's some big runs. He's 31-36 up here for the 5.75, and as you mentioned, 28.40 Ian for the 5.25. So on to heat number 2, and I'll give you the runners here. In trap 1, Drum Do It Casper, 2 Croker's Paradise, 3 Scully's Grace, 4 Clonfort Lorenzo, 5 Jack's Walls Fire, and 6 is Kementari.
Kementari, and away they go. 4 didn't waste any time at the get-go. Clonfort Lorenzo leads by a couple. 5 shows early skip Jack's Firewall, and Kementari has a lot of work to do from the rear of affairs, but is in 5th position now. They run the back straight. 4 Clonfert Lorenzo still with a heavy advantage here of about 5 lengths, but 5. Jack's Firewall hasn't given up hope in second. Steiner's charge is on the prowl, and there's a big gap back to the chasers. They turn for home. 4. Clonfert Lorenzo needs the line. 5. Jack's Firewall just needs space, but 4 holds on from 5. 6 third. 3 qualifies.
Yep, big performance there from Clonfert Lorenzo. 7:18 sectional, which was the second fastest sectional of the competition. Let's have another look at the replay. 7:18 sectional. Yeah, that's pretty good going to the first bend. He's going to go a long way in the competition doing sectionals like that. Stamina not a strong point, but still clocked 32.95. Not a bad run. Trap 5, Jack's Walls Fire. Little unlucky to check outside him there and was set back 3 or 4 lengths. Was only beat a length in the end. Kementari from Trap 6, look where he is at this stage. Well back in 5th place there. Runs the third bend quite well actually and just overtakes Scully's Grace on the run in. But up the home straight, Clonfert Lorenzo looked like he was going to be tackled by Jack's Walls Fire, but she just didn't know whether to challenge inside or outside, and that was ultimately her undoing. So Clonfert Lorenzo beat Jack's Walls Fire. Other qualifiers, Kementari and Bobby Scully's Grace in Trap 3. So Ian, what did you think of that heat? Some good early pace there from Clonfert Lorenzo.
Yeah, good early speed from of course he holds the 550-yard record around Mullingar, so more than familiar with the circuit, and once he got to the front, well, he wasn't going to be handing away too much ground because, as we've said, he does know the place well. But in second spot, Jack's Firewall, loses a few lengths in defeat, and just on the same racing line as 4 Clonfert Lorenzo throughout. Of course, he is Mullingar experience too, and they just want to be running in the same part of the track. You see Trap 5, Jack's Firewall, coming with a withering run off the final turn, but he switches wide too, and he's right up the backside of 4, nowhere to go. In theory, or in truth, he'd probably lost his victory off the second bend, and Clonfert Lorenzo making the best of the way home. He'll need to be hitting the front in the early yards in the coming rounds, because if he doesn't, there'll be stronger dogs that will be there to take advantage. But Clonfert Lorenzo, a lot to like about him. As I've said, the 550-yard record holder at Mullingar.
It's hard to believe he was contesting A8s around Mullingar only in last August, I think it was. So he's been a rapid grade climber. I think he's won A7, A6, A5, gradual steps all the way up, and he's going to be one of the favourites to take honours in this competition. Right, Ian, it's my turn to pick first in this one. This is race 10, the big one of the evening, and our favourite currently is Trap 1, Susie Sapphire at 5-4. Next in, Front of Manny, 7-4. We've got 4-1 Kilpie Blue, 5-1 Miss Clover, 8-1 Rock Glen Swift, and you can have 20-1 about Cool Adderley Wings, who I still give a chance to. So this race is all about what happens at Trap Rise. I suppose Susie Sapphire is the most naturally early pace dog in the race. There's not a whole lot of early pace in it, to be honest. Front of Manny, it all depends on how she comes out, where she's going to be positioned entering the back straight. She's undoubtedly the fastest greyhound in the race, but her starting can be her Achilles heel. She won in 28:11 here back on the 3rd of April with a 2:10 sectional. I was here that night. If she can come away in similar style and pick her way around the first 2 bends, she has a huge engine, and Robert Gleeson really likes this one. Trap 4, Rock Glen Swift, is another one that deserves a mention for Peter Cronin, as I mentioned earlier on in the programme, only having her 4th run this evening. And for one so young to get to the final of the Puppy Oaks and only her 4th run, she really does have a bright future ahead of her, and she will be contesting the Oaks all going well. Graham Holland, who's won this before, of course, with Ballydoyle Honey in 2015, what a bit she was. He trains Trap 3 here, Kilpie Blue, for William Codd. She's yet to win a race, but she's some fabulous times in her form. Last week, going back just caught on the line by Front of Manny, beating ahead after clocking 28.54. It's not very often you clock 28.54 and fail to win. So my selection, Ian, I'm going to go. If I was having a punt, I'd have a few quid on Susie Sapphire, but because I need to catch you, I'm going to take a chance with Susie Sapphire in Trap 1.
Good man. I have no doubt you were going to go for Susie Sapphire. She's the one that's very much in the upward trajectory. She's shown great early speed in her last 2 starts. It'd be no surprise if she made every inch of the running. Of course, going back to her dam, Jetstream Lynx was a very talented lady. She stayed 750 yards, but her progeny, well, it seems Susie Sapphire in particular, has great early speed. And so the runners on parade for the final of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks in one Susie Sapphire, this rapidly improving daughter of Droopy's Jet and Jetstream Lynx, is trained by Owen McKenna for Peter Comerford. She's won 3 of her 6, and she's certainly one of the leading fancies. 2 is Cool Adderley Wings, a real powerhouse, trained by Cora Doyle, a daughter of Droopy's Jet and Vigorous Hillary. She's been absolutely motoring home in recent defeats. 3 is Kilpie Blue, remains a maiden, trained by Graham Holland for William Codd, a daughter of Droopy Sydney and Vic Raz. She's plenty of ability. 28.54 last week. week, just pipped by a head. In 4, Rock Glen Swift. What a talent this lady promises to be. Trained by Peter Cronin for Sean Elvin and KJ Hazeldine. This a daughter of Druby Sydney and Swift Medora. Very fast indeed. 5 is Miss Clover. She has it all. She starts and she stays. She's owned by the Moydrove Massive Syndicate, care of agent Derek Loughnane, a daughter of Ballymacmat and Folly's View. And completing their lineup in the striped jacket, we have Frontamani, owned by Kevin Proctor, trained by Robert Gleeson, a real powerhouse, a daughter of Sonic and rural Aloha. If she turns close, she'll take some holding. If she turns from off the pace, well, she still might get involved. She's exceptionally quick. They are the runners for the final of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks. They're on the way to traps, not long left to place your bets.
Thanks, Ian. Yeah, give you a quick show of betting. It's now joint favourites Susie Sapphire and Frontamani, both at 6-4. Next in is Calpivdu 9-2, 11-2 Miss Clover, and it's 8-1 bar those 4. So we're going to take a look at a couple of these in a little closer detail. And first up is the favourite Susie Sapphire for Peter Comerford, trained by Owen McKenna. As Ian said, her dam was top class, over 6 bends in the UK. And this one, she's really improved here over the last couple of weeks. She has some great early pace. Her sectionals, she's on the countdown, 224, 211, 206, improving with each run, and another 206 sectional should see her lead the field here tonight. She's 2 from 2 out of trap 1, and she certainly has a favourites chance. The next one I'm going to look at is Coola Dairy Wings, that we mentioned at the top of the show. This one currently graded to run in A3 competition, but don't let that fool you. If you look at her sectionals, you will think that she's very slowly away. She's 228, 226, but there is a break in her. Have no doubt about that. There is a break in this one. She flies from halfway, and the draw could suit. If one slips the field early, it could get her a nice run in behind, and she certainly has the pace to get involved. The next one now I'm going to have a look at, out in 6, Kevin Proctor's Front Amani, trained by Robert Gleeson. As we said, this one, she has incredible speed now. She's won 5 of her last 9 races. She can be slowly away, but she flies down the back straight and really does fly home. At 28-11 run around here in April is still the second fastest time of the year in Shelbourne Park so far. Her dam at 28-28 around here, and 29.49 for the 550. So she needs to keep tabs on them early. But I'm going to, in my competition with Ian Fortune, I'm going to side with trap 1. But if I was here on a regular night with crowds and bookmakers, I'd be having a small interest on trap 2, Coola Dairy Wings. Ian, I'm going to side with trap 1, Susie Sapphire. What's your selection going to be here?
Well, I've gone in print to saying I think Frontamani might just get there late. I don't think there's as much early speed as she's been taking on in recent starts, with the exception of Susie Sapphire. And I just wouldn't be surprised if she turned a bit closer to the pace tonight from a favourable draw out in trap 6. And I'll go for her to get there in the closing yards, denying Susie Sapphire. But it really does promise to be a good race. I will be keeping an eye on Coola Dairy Wings myself. You know, she's one that'll want further in time, but she has plenty of pace. And the same could be said for Rock Glen Swift. You know, I know we've given them all a mention, but they'd all deserve a mention. You know, it's that type of race. You'd be no surprise if any of these went on to bigger and better things in the future. Of course, we will most likely see all 6 running in the Sporting Press Irish Oaks, God willing. And, you know, really looking forward to this contest. As you can see, the loading process is getting underway. €3,000 to the winner of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks. Of course, it has been won by some real stars in the past. Subsequent Sporting Press Irish Oaks winners, the likes of Droopy's Twirl, Dalcash Davinsky, Ballydoyle Honey. Those 3 were very special indeed. And who knows, maybe the winner of this will go on to win the Sporting Press Irish Oaks as well. Well, the loading process just completed now, or about to be completed, for this final of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks. And they're all in. And there is the bell for the final of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks for 2021. In 1, Susie Sapphire, 2, Coola Dairy Wings, 3, Kilpipe Blue, 4, Rock Glen Swift, 5, Miss Clover, and 6 is Frontamani. Here up behind boxes. Racing, good start by 1 up the inside, Susie Sapphire 3, Kilpipe Blue goes up well in 5, Miss Clover showed good early speed to go second, but it is 1 Susie Sapphire. She's setting a searing gallop. She's on by 6 down the far side. 3 Kilpipe Blue challenging for second with 5 Miss Clover, but forget about catching this lady out front. Susie Sapphire, she remains 6-7 clear. 3 Kilpipe Blue shakes off the challenger Miss Clover to go second. Frontamani's closing fast, but Susie Sapphire will get there. Tight for second between Kilpipe Blue and Frontamani, but Susie Sapphire, her upward trajectory continues. 28.44. She's a very talented young lady. She's only November 19. She really is only a pup.
Yeah, brilliant. Huge congratulations to Comerford's and Owen McKenna. That was electric. She flew from boxes. I'd say that's a 2-second dead section, if not even better. The race was all over here. She was 5 lengths clear. A little bit of trouble in behind the big finishers, Front of Manny and Trap 2 Cooladary Wings. But she's already 6 clear here, Susie Saffar. If somebody was to tell you Front of Manny be beating the length here, you're taking them away in white coats. Look at Front of Manny. Switches to the outside of Trap 5, Miss Clover. On the outside of Kill Pipe Blue. And she absolutely flies home. Just maybe a length and a half off the winner, but it's a fabulous run, 28.44. As you mentioned, Ian, there's no doubt all of these, God willing, and they don't come in season, will go for the main Oaks later on in the year. But as I say, congratulations to the Comforts and Owen McKenna. They've got a nice one on their hands. Ian, what did you think of that race?
Like her, she's just improving every time she goes to the track. The time tonight, 28.44. She did 28.47 last week, but one suspects that tonight's run is a good bit better than last week's. I think the track isn't quite as fast as it was a week ago. So a fine display by Susie Saffar. She raced on by 6-8 lengths down the far side. Kill Pipe Blue showed good speed to challenge and pass Miss Clover into the third bend. But as you said, Barry, Front of Manny, the pace she showed, she was turned sideways in the opening corner and she's beaten just over a length. It was a hell of a run from her. I'm going to take the phone here.
Cheers, Ian. I just had a quick look there at Front of Manny. She did take a hefty bump off the second bend after missing the kick. So, look, all the congratulations go to the Comforts, as I said, and Owen McKenna. But Front of Manny, she certainly wants to take out of the race. Some of the better competitions in the year over 550 will certainly suit her, but she does have to brush up on her trapping. Right. The main event is over here, but we still have 2 more decent contests to go. We're going to head back to Mullingar and have a look at Heat 3 of this Zarowich. I'll give you the runners. In Trap 1, we had Freffen's Trump, 2 Creevy Tiger, 3 AK-47, 4 Shaggy Nidge. In 5 was Droopy's Lively, and in 6 we had Drumrich Altair. Here's how they get on.
Here's the bunny, and away they go. 3 first to show in the centre. AK-47, 6 Drumrich Altair is languishing early doors as 1 Freffen's Trump gets a sweet run on the inside but has a few lengths to make up. It is 3, a cosy leader into the back straight. Guilfoyle's Charge, AK-47 puts them to the sword here. 1 Freffen's Trump shows plenty of pace in second, chased by 4. Now into the final turns, still 3. It's going to take a monumental effort for 3 to throw this one away, and she coasts easily to a sensational victory here. 3 your winner. AK-47 looks like 6 second from 4. 5 back in 4th.
Yeah, it was a sensational performance there by AK-47 with a 7.10 sectional to the line the first time, which was the fastest of the competition. She comes away really well from Trap 3. It's amazing she's won over 6 bends as well this bitch, and she can show that sort of early pace. Real early pace into the bend. She already leads by 2 or 3, and as I said, she's won over 6 bends, so it was going to take a good one to come from behind her. That's her first official run around Mullingar, so usually you see what happened to Auxerre in the first race. Dogs will usually improve for a run or 2 around Mullingar. She runs the third bend really well for one, having her first look. Look at that. That's impressive running bends in Mullingar, and she stays on strongly. She wins by 13 lengths in a fastest of the competition, fastest of the opening round, 32.77. Trap 6 ran well. Drumrich Altair knows the place well. It's a long time since his last run, but yeah, she's currently, you can get a bit of 6-1 about AK-47 with Boyle Sports winning it outright, so you could do worse than have a few quid in it. Ian, how did you see it yourself?
I think it's worth pointing out, I think it was the weakest of the heats by quite some margin. AK-47 had only led twice in her career, and both of them came over 6 bends. I would not be expecting her to set the standard or to set the pace into the opening corner many more occasions in the competition. I know she did a 7.10. I think that's an outlier. I wouldn't be expecting her to do it again. I've seen plenty of her, and Pat Guilfoyle clearly has her in flying form. Just to mention here, 6 Drumrich Altair. I know he is the absolute apple of John Durgan's eye, and look at him back in 5th spot down the back straight, and he stays on Stouty for 2nd. He is beaten 13 lengths, but he's running a blinder, and I'm sure John is over the moon to have him in the 2nd round of the Cesarewitch. But a lot to like about AK-47. A very impressive display from the front, but as I said, I wouldn't expect it to be doing it every night from the front. It's more of a powerhouse, be doing more of its running from the back.
Yeah, I got to agree with you there. I was shocked when I seen her showing that sort of early pace, having won over 6 bends. Now on to heat number 4. I'll give you the runners here. In Trap 1, Mystical Luna, 2 Toaster Gaza, 3 Ramor's Magic. In 4 we had Mixed Model, 5 Run Around the Bud, and in 6 a Shelbourne regular, Ripley Lad. Here's how they get on.
And away they they go. 3 away well. Remorse Magic. 6 is struggling with the early pace. 2, Toaster Gaza now leads to the first as 1 tracks on the inside and nips up well. Mystical Luna leads by a half length into the back straight. 2 though. Toaster Gaza flying down the back straight, and Bolton's Charge leads by a couple. 6 not out of it at the rear of affairs either. Ripley Ladd into these final turns now. 2, Toaster Gaza turns for home in front. 1 is a clear second. Ripley Ladd still fighting for a qualification spot. 2, Toaster Gaza holds on tight for the Miners. Looks like 6 from 4. 1 fourth. We'll wait for confirmation.
Yeah, good win there by the Margaret Bolton trained Toaster Gaza. He had been sprinting around Mullingar recently, so look, he obviously stays the trip well there, winning in 33.23. You can see them, he doesn't come away all that well, but trap 3 moves to his right and gives him plenty of room, and he shows that early pace just to lead into the first bend. Trap 1, Mystical Luna, went up well. She 32.73 around there in the past, so thought she might have ran on a little bit better here, but Toaster Gaza straightens up, and again that's an impressive burst of pace he shows into the third bend. He knows Mullingar well, so he's always going to run the third bend fairly well. Of the other qualifiers, Ripley Ladd, he's had some big performances around Shelbourne over 750. He's a likeable sort. He runs on strongly up on the outside to grab the second qualifying place. Other ones to qualify were mixed models. She's been running well recently around Cork, and the last of the qualifiers was Pat Guilfoyle Mystical Luna. Ian, how did you see that heat going?
I thought Toaster Gaza was playing with his rivals to a bit. He threw away a few lengths in victory. In fairness to him, you see him here, he didn't come away flying. Ripley Ladd missed the kick. Of course, he was a former track record holder at Mullingar for this 600-yard trip, and he had run well in the TP Weedick, having won it in 2020. He'd run so well in the final of the night. But Toaster, Gaza giving away lengths there around the opening 2 bends. Looked like he was going to enter the back 3 or 4 clear. Gives away ground, shows unbelievable pace again into the third bend, props again on the third bend and throws away another length or 2. If you go back far enough in this fellow's card, he was beaten 2 lengths and ahead by a certain Skywalker Barry and Skywalker Silla at Shelbourne Park, and doing a 28.54. He has loads of pace and ability. I think he probably has his own thoughts in the game. He did throw his head up on a couple of occasions, but pace to burn. Just don't be surprised if this fellow runs a big race again next week and gets through the next round. He's lots of pace, lots of ability.
Cheers, Ian. We've 2 more heats to catch up on. We'll have a look at them in a moment or two. Now, race 11 here, the second last race of the night. It's the Talking Dogs Online TV A257.5. And I have my own Chew Tobacco running in this race. The name, if anybody's interested, he's an old Swords character from the late 80s and the 90s, was Chew Tobacco. So that's how this dog got his name. Look, I'll give you a little bit about him. He's no superstar. He is what he is. He won well over 5.75 here a couple of weeks back. He really does need to lead. He's wave the white flag and discard the company if he doesn't get away in front. But he had a 4.78 sectional. He does dive left if he can come away well. Look, he's in good form. He's as well as we can have him. If he's out in front, he will be hard to pass. I was a little bit disappointed with the time last week, 29.44. He's capable of doing an awful lot better than that. But the actual run wasn't too bad. I think the dog that beat him, Leinster Leo, is an above average sort. However, I'm not going to pick him as my selection because the competition is now 2-2. So I'm going to side with the Francie Murray trained Trap 1, Loch Ranza. He's currently your 7-4 favourite. Ian, before they go on parade, can you give us your selections? It's now 2 apiece.
Yeah, well, I was thinking of siding with Trap 3 Ross Bay Jim, but you tell me that your own Chew Tobacco will edge in from Trap 4, so maybe I might just re-evaluate the system and I'll go with Caladriel out in Trap 6. Should load a promise on debut in the Brownstown Tango and Newbridge Track Supporter Stake down at Newbridge. Got a bit lost in its 2 starts here at Shelbourne Park, but certainly bred to be fast, and as we know, Declan Byrne is no slouch with a racing greyhound. Out in Trap 6 over 5.75 yards. You'd be amazed how they can just arrive into the corner on the outside, and I'm going to go with Trap 6 Caladriel. Well, the runners on parade for this 11th race here at Shelbourne Park. Penultimate race in the card, the Talking Dogs Online TVA 2. In 1 is Loch Ranza for Francie Murray and Howard Wallace, a very well-bred son of Top Honcho and Leezy Lindsay, who herself had some fine form over this type of trip. In 2 is Witch's Phoenix for Liam Toomey, a daughter of Headbound and former Oaks winner Witch's Bell. 3 is Ross Bay Jim, Mert Lahey for Pat Comerford, a classy individual, son of Droopy's Nidge and the brilliant JT China. 4 is Chew Tobacco for Matt Caul, a son of Law Hill Blake and Netherville Hawk, 2 wins in his card. Out in 5 we have Reserve K, Tip Top Taylor, and Tip Top Taylor is owned by Bear with me, won by Paul Ryan, a daughter of Droopy Sydney and Marlfield Taylor with 2 wins at its card. And then 6 is Galadriel, Galadriel, owned by Paul Reid and Paul Horrigg, trained by Declan Byrne, a very well-bred daughter of Droopy Sydney and Limini. Remains a maiden after 3 starts, but the longer run to the corner, well, just could see this lady coming to life. They are the runners for this 11th race, the penultimate race on our card. Barry, give us your thoughts.
Quick show betting. Trap 1, Loch Ranza is currently your 7-4 favourite. Galadriel is next in at 3-1. We 4-1. Witches Phoenix even. Try say that again. Witches Phoenix. There we go. And Trap 3, Rossbeg Jim is also 4-1. It's 8-1 Chew Tobacco, and it's 12-1 the reserve Tip Top Taylor. So we're going to take a look at a couple of these, and the first one we're going to look at is the Howard Wallace owned, Francie Murray trained Loch Ranza in Trap 1. I think the step up in trip will suit this fella, as will the long run to the bend. He ran in a much better contest than this last week when chasing home the likes of Mairead's Grace and Sorge Duke, I think it was. He was slowly away on that occasion, only beaten 7 lengths, and this is a definite market drop in class. His Dan won the Macroom 575 stake in Cork and the 2017 Cork Oaks. He's in good hands, and there is more improvement expected. The next one we're going to have a look at is Trap 3. Ross Beg Jim, currently a 4-1 chance. A big win, 31-27 in over 575 here recently. That performance would surely win this tonight. He ran well in a 750 last week when always second behind an impressive winner, Jetstream Emma, who goes in her last race. He's a half brother to the likes of Blue Ticks George, who's flying around Sunderland recently. 485 sectional here is not bad, but as I say, Chew Tobacco, if he does come away well, he will edge inwards on the run-up markedly so. And the last one I'm going to have a look at, Ian, is your selection, Galadriel for Declan Byrne. This one ran in that Brownstown Tango unraced stake in Newbridge. She also ran in the Puppy Oaks here a couple of weeks ago. She qualified well. Here in Newbridge, 28.83, and she's from a very fast litter featuring the likes of Swords Maestro, Jack's Little Thing, and a couple of others like that. I think she will appreciate the longer run-up, and she's currently 5-2 second favourite behind Loch Ranza. So I'm going to side with 1. Ian, you're siding with 6. Any final thoughts?
No, I think that basically sums it up, Barry. The 575-yard trip, it's a great trip here at Shelbourne Park, as is the 600. The long run to the corner, they really do get a chance to sort themselves out. It's a real test of a greyhound, and we're going to see some experienced and some inexperienced runners here. Looking forward to this. Always look forward to the 575s. It's an A2 contest, but I dare say it'll be won in better than A2 time. As you can see, the greyhounds making the way behind traps. As I said, taking a chance in Trap 6, Galadriel. She is very well bred. Droopy Sydney out of Limini, yet to win a race after 3 attempts, but the long run to the corner, it does often bring them to life. 5, Tip Top Taylor, coming in as reserve instead of Dark Ava. If Chew Tobacco just gets in the way of Ross Bay Jim, that could take out one of the major fancies, because if Ross Bay Jim produced anything like his best form, he'd be very hard to beat. Has a 31.07 on his card here at Shelbourne Park over this trip. That was rated 20 fast on that occasion, so 31.27 estimated. But no, we're going to stick with Trap 6 Galadriel, because she has more sort of potential for improvement than her rivals. And again, she did 28.83 on debut around Newbridge, staying on well on that occasion. So I have no doubt better to come from this August 19 whelp. Well, as you can see, the runners now being placed in traps. This is the 11th and penultimate race on the card here this evening at Shelbourne Park. We've seen some fine displays, most notably from Susie Sapphire in the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks. But now they're in traps for this 11th race. 1, Loch Ranza. 2, Witches Phoenix. 3, Ross Bay Jim. 4, Chew Tobacco. 5, Tip Top Taylor. And 6 is Galadriel. There, coming up behind boxes. Racing, good start by Trap 6 Galadriel on the outside. 5 in second, Tip Top Taylor. 4 edges inwards, Chew Tobacco. But it is 6 Galadriel that leads around the opening turn. This youngster on by 3 lengths, 2 in second. 5 Tip Top Taylor. 1 Loch Ranza now showing speed to challenge for second spot. But it's going to have to race some, because 6 Galadriel remains clear into that third bend. Has 6 lengths in hand over 5 in second, Tip Top Taylor. And 1 Loch Ranza, further gap to 4 Chew Tobacco. Ross Bay Jim out front though. It's Galadriel. A very impressive way to open your account. Second is 5 Tip Top Taylor, and third is 1 Loch Ranza. The winning time 30.96. She's gone under 31 second. She's a real prospect. Galadriel for Declan Byrne, Paul Reid and Paul Horrigg.
Yeah, well, Ian, you did call it. You said this would be won in a quicker time than A2, and it was won in a slightly quicker time than an A2 in 30.96. What a run. I haven't seen a run like that around here for a while. You can see she takes a flyer from trap 6. Chew Tobacco did edge inwards and sort of hampered trap 2 and trap 3, but look at 6. She showed really good early pace up. She qualified well, as we mentioned earlier on, but down the back straight she really put her rivals to the sword. She's 2.5 lengths clear. She really increases that all the way into the third turn. Trap 1 did show good pace, Loch Ranza for Francie Murray into the third bend, but the board has flown and you're not going to come from behind in 30.96 for a 5.75 around here. Trap 5, the reserve, Tip Top Taylor, runs on well in second for Paul Ryan. And as I say, 30.96 and A2, a fabulous run. She's really one to look forward to. Hope she stays safe and sound and she could be a big contender in the Oaks. Ian, how did you see that race? Okay, so as we say, Chew Tobacco, look, I think he finished at the tail of the field, but he was never going to win in 30.96. He'd struggled to win a 5.50 in 30.96, but look, just a little bit too hot for him, and he'll have another day. Ian, how did you see the race yourself?
Yeah, very impressive. 18.47 to the third bend. It's worth noting that that's the same actual sectional as the 600s. We didn't see 18.47 done too often in the Ladbroke 600s, so she'd have won a few heats of that, I've no doubt about it. Really nice display. You'd actually feel for Trap 5, Tip Top Taylor and Paul Ryan, because it's run an absolute bowler in second spot, but it's dragged around in 30.96. You can't justify that. But a fine display by the winner. As I said, she is very well bred. Droopy Sydney out of Limini. Limini herself could run a bit, but she was very, very well bred indeed. And a lot to like about Galadriel. I just wonder where they'll go with her now. Will they step her back in trip for an Oaks Challenge or something like that? She's only had the 4 starts, or will they keep her to this sort of intermediary distance? 575, 600, you never know. But she's clearly won with a bit of an engine, and Declan Byrne is building up a very nice team of ladies.
Yeah, Declan Byrne, he does have a nice kennel at the moment. I think that's a nice confidence builder for that bitch there, Galadriel. She'd been meeting trouble in a couple of her races, and a nice clear run like that could give her all the confidence she needs. 30.96 is definitely a great prospect going forward. Now, back to Mullingar, Joe Dolan's hometown, poor old Joe, for Heat 5 of the Cesaro Wedge. I'll give you the runners. In trap 1 we had Lingron Brandy, 2 Droopy's Wyatt, 3 Bull Run Norris, 4 Our Viking Spirit, 5 Razzle Dazzle Curtis, and in 6 we had Drumrich and Tears. Here's how they got on.
Drumrich and Torres, away they go. 3 and 5 were slightly slowly into stride as 3 Bull Run Norris now gets into full stride, and it's Norris who leads up around the opening turns now. 3 suffers a bump at the turn, and it's 6 suffers a bump at the turn, I should say, and it's 3 Bull Run Norris who opens up a 5-length advantage down the back. 2 Droopy's Wyatt begins to close in now in second, and this contest is far from over with Droopy's Wyatt prowling out wide. They turn for home. 2 takes it up. Droopy's leads on the run-in, and it's Droopy's Wyatt who scores in style. 2-year winner from 5, 3 third, 1 qualifies.
Yeah, big performance there from Droopy's Wyatt 3 days after winning the TP Weedick Open over 6 bends in Kilkenny. So we're going to have a look at this one again, and the one I want to focus on is trap 2. It is Droopy's Wyatt. He came away really, really well, but he really does lack a yard of early pace, as you can see there. I don't think he can continue to come away like that. But as I say, he's a smashing dog. Won the TP Weedick in Kilkenny a couple of weeks before. He's a good 3 or 4 lengths behind Bull Run Norris, who showed good early pace after a modest start. He'd done a 7.27 sectional. But here the writing's really on the wall for a dog having his first look around Mullingar. He runs the third bend really well, and here it was game over. As I say, he's over 6 bends. Powers on to win by 3 or 4 lengths. Bull Run Norris was just caught for second by Razzle Dazzle Curtis. Razzle Dazzle Curtis can really put in a big performance when he hits it all right, as we've seen from his 31.27 win around here. But Bull Run Norris, he could be one to take out of the race. He showed good early pace, and he's currently installed as your 4-1 favourite. Ian, how did you see that heat going?
Yeah, like yourself, I was actually quite impressed with Bull Run Norris. I know he tied up a bit and gave away lengths at trap rise, but he showed unbelievable early speed, and it's worth pointing out he's been off the track for 6 months. He should only come on for it. I know he's had trials and he's probably well galloped, but you know yourself, there's nothing like race experience. He did open up a clear advantage over to Droopy's Wyatt, but Droopy's Wyatt is in a bit of a role at the moment. He was always campaigned in very hot company, and his strike rate it downgraded him really to a point until his recent starts. He's now after racking up 5 wins in his last 6 starts. There's a lot to like about him. He's really strong. He will sharpen up for this run, because it is worth pointing out he has been racing over 6 bends, so just don't be surprised if he does sharpen up to the corner in his next race or two. But no, I wouldn't be too dismissive or disappointed with Bull Run Norris. I'm sure he'll come on for that. With a fast start, he could have gone close to 7 seconds. That's the sort of pace he has, and if he's 6 or 8 cleared on the back straight and comes on for that run, well, it's going to take a good one to catch him. I know he's beaten there by Droopy's Wyatt, who himself is a player in the competition. They're two nice dogs. Worth also pointing out Razzle Dazzle Curtis, who was a bit of a star in the continent, won big races in Sweden. He's running very well for Neelis O'Connell. He came through for second spot after winning, and a good stake here at Shelbourne Park.
Yeah, thanks, Ian. Razzle Dazzle Curtis, yeah, he's a really good performer when he puts it all together, as we've seen from his 31.07 5.75 run here, and I think he won the Swedish Derby, wasn't it, last year? So, yeah, a couple of ones to take out at Bull Run Norris and Razzle Dazzle Curtis. I think Droopy's Wyatt may struggle. He does seem to lack a yard of early pace, but he does come home strong, and hopefully he qualifies. For Robert Gleeson, now on to the final heat, was heat number 6, and I'll give you the runners here. In trap 1 we had Manuka Man, 2 was Amazing Alice, 3 Amazing Borna, 4 Rioja Smasher, or as Ian Fortune called it, Rioja Smasher a couple of weeks ago, and 5 we have Fahy Polly, and in 6 Jollification. Let's see how they get on.
And away they go. 2 Amazing Alice, last year's runner-up, wasn't quite so swiftly into stride as 1 and 4 are in a share of the lead as they approach the first, and it's 4 who wins that battle. Early doors though, Rioja Smasher leads by a length and a half off the second turn. 1 Manuka Man is prowling up the inside as 2 Amazing Alice now begins to pick up the pace down the back straight, and 2 now steals second. It's 6 back and forth, chased by 5 and 3. They turn for home. 4 Rioja Smasher still with the lead. 2 a distant second up towards the line. It's 4 Rioja Smasher who gets it done. 2 in second, 6 third. 1 qualifies.
Yeah, Rioja Smasher, a good performance there. She's currently installed as the 4-1 joint favourite with Bull Run Boat. Both of these trained by Pat Buckley, as you can see. A level enough break, but she does show good early pace. A 7.21 sectional sees her just lead into the first bend. Trap 1, Manuka Man also going up well in a 7.27. But into the back straight, you can see Rioja Smasher, she opens up her lead by a length and a half. She qualified well this one, 28.51. She was knocked out of the Kirby, but she runs this third bend really well. Amazing Alice, she was runner-up on this last year. She's been running in top company. She runs well to finish second. And up the home straight, Rioja Smasher, does it well in 32.84. Amazing Alice runs on well in second place. As I say, she knows the track fairly well. And trap 6, Jollification for Nigel McGarry, qualified in third. Ian, how did you see the last of the heat going?
Yeah, I must say I was impressed by Rioja Smasher. Inexperience had been his problem in the early rounds of both the Juvenile Classic and the Kirby, but on this occasion the long run to the corner was the key. Got to the front, and it was a real confidence builder this, but just keep an eye on trap 2, Amazing Alice. She just got clipped off the second bend, lost a bit of ground, and then gets racing into the third bend. She absolutely flew. Worth pointing out, she did run up this competition last year. She has a 7.10 sectional on her card last year. She can go up considerably faster, a lot more ground again there between the last 2 bends. It's worth noting she's in trap 1 the next night. I've actually had a couple of quid in her to win the competition, having seen this display, so I'm hoping that she'll progress on Monday night. But a lot to like about Rioja Smasher, and it was only his 5th or 4th race, I believe, so you can certainly step forward for that, and is obviously a big fancy. And Pat Buckley with the top 2 in the betting in Bull Run Bolton, or Bull Run Norris, should I say, and Rioja Smasher. It's easy to see why they're up there, because they have good early speed. They're both very talented greyhounds, but no, as I said, I was pleasantly surprised by how well Amazing Alice ran after, missing the kick and being off the pace in the early yards. And yeah, I think she'll go close this year.
Shaping up into a decent little contest. I'll just give you the anti-post betting from Boyle Sports. Bull Run Norris and Rioja Smasher are currently 4-1 joint favourites. Amazing Alice and AK-47 are 6-1, and you can have 10s about Droopy's Wyatt and Early Noel. 10-1 about Early Noel isn't a bad shout. Ian, I'm going to concede defeat in our competition. You've won our tipping competition for tonight, so I'm going to reward you with a €10 free bet in the last race, and if it wins, I'll donate personally all the proceeds to the Irish Retired Greyhound Trust. So no pressure on you here, Ian. They're just about to go on parade. We'll let you do the parade, and then we will look for a selection off you. I'll give you the current live price on the BetDack exchange, and if it wins, as I say, I'll make a donation myself after racing. Over to you, Ian.
Well, folks, the runners on parade now for the final race of the evening here tonight. The pick 4 Jackpot A1 551 Jetstream Emma, owned by Mike Freshwater, Trimble Paul Kiley, a daughter of Law Hill Blake and Jetstream Babs. Good winner over further last time. 2 Jazz Toes for Peter Cronin, the Big Bus Syndicate, son of Taylor Sky Yahoo Perlina. 3, Tinryland Boy for Donald Murphy and the Poor Farmers Fund Syndicate, a son of Taylor Skye and Badminton Girl. 4 is Burgess Glengar, owned by Sheila Spillane, JJ Fennelly, son of Patsy Sabbath and Glengar Badminton. 5, Boharash Teddy for Leonard Hanrahan and Agnieszka Critch, this a daughter, or son should I say, of Good News and Slaney-side Twirl. And out in 6 is Myola Shamrogue for Mary Gilbert and the 5 Moretti Syndicate, who I'm sure are watching from home, son of Kinloch Bray and Myola Inyan. And it's the 12th and final race in your card here tonight at Shelbourne Park, the Pick 4 Jackpot A1 550.
Thanks, Ian. Yeah, the 5 Moretti Syndicates, a couple of bogeys involved in that. I know a few of them, Dylan Fitzsimons. It's a pleasure to work with Dylan Fitzsimons, very knowledgeable young man about Greyhound, so I wish the lads all the best here this evening. So we're going to take a look at a couple of these in a little closer detail. The first one we're going to look at is Jetstream Emma, currently 4-1. Jetstream Emma, she was a good winner over 6 bends here last week when leading all to beat Rossbeg Jim in a very smart 41.82, and she's no slouch over 4 bends either. She's 28.80 twice. She's well drawn, and it's just important that she holds her pitch on the rails early. Next one we're going to have a look at is Tinryland Boy, owned by the Poor Farmers Fund Syndicate. Poor Farmers. There we go. Trained by Donald Murphy. This fella, he's lightly raced for his age. He's good form over 5.25. I think the longer run-up may suit him. He ran well in behind Noel Nick last time, who's a rapidly improving performer. Obviously withdrawn earlier on tonight, didn't run. He's come out and improved since that run. Start is all important. Not an awful lot of early pace in 1, so he could get a decent run around. And finally, in trap 6 for the 5 Moretti Syndicate and Mary Gilbert. This fella, he's in good form recently. He was a semi-finalist in the National Puppy Stake late last year. As I mentioned, he's owned by a dodgy group of fellas. Big Greyhound supporters. The lads, we wish us the best of luck tonight. He's a 4.76 sectional over 5.75 not so very long ago. He's strong over this sort of a trip. He is an inside seed, but Dylan says trap 6 won't be an issue. I'll just give you a quick run through of the betting. It's still 4-1 Jetstream Emma and Jazz Toes. It's now 5-1 Tinryland Boy, 3-1 Glengar Bale. It's 12-1 Boharash Teddy, and it's 6-4 Myola Shamrogue. So Ian, I'm going to put you on the spot. You have a €10 bet, courtesy of me. If it wins, I'll make a donation to Retired Irish Greyhound, or the Irish Retired Greyhound Trust. So what's your selection, Ian?
Well, I suppose I have to show faith in my own selection, so I'm going to throw a tenner on it as well. Burgess Glengar, and we can both add it and send it into the Irish Retired Greyhound Trust. I'll go with Burgess Glengar. Looks a really nice prospect in the Juvenile Classic. Has been off the track for a month or so, but very well bred and, has lots of pace. I'm just a bit concerned by Jazz Toes on the inside. Not the best of starters, but the longer run to the corner suits him. If he doesn't get to the front, however, Jazz Toes won't be winning. He's not the strongest over this trip, but I'm going to take a chance that Burgess Glengar, despite his inexperience, can turn close to the pace and land the spoil. So we now have a score on this one for the IRGT, Barry.
Perfectly. He's 1-4 actually now, so there won't be much of a donation. No, only joking. He's 3-1. We're going to take 3-1, so let's hope, fingers crossed for him. The 5 Moretti lads are making a move. It's now 6-4 Myola Shamrogue from 5-2, so the money is down for the lads. Boharash Teddy is still 11-1. We have still 3-1 Burgess Glengar, our selection. Tinryland Boy is 5s with 3-1 Jazz Toes and 9-2 Jetstream Emma on the inside. She's looking to make it. What's this going to be? She's on a hat-trick now, this one, Jetstream Emma, for Paul Kiley. As Ian said, Jazz Toes, Peter Cronin out of luck in the big one earlier on, but Rockglen Swift, she's still a bitch to look forward to in the future. And Tinryland Boy for the Poor Farmers Syndicate, the Poor Old Farmers, they could do with winning this first prize of €500 here tonight. The Pick 4 Jackpot A1 550. Why not get involved on Barking Buzz? The last play of the evening, the last chance to dance. Myself and Ian are cheering on trap 4, Burgess Glengar for the Sheila Spillane and JJ Fennelly in Cork. Ian, the last one is just about to load. We're cheering on trap 4. Over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Barry. Looking forward to this. And again, fingers crossed for trap 4, Burgess Glengar. Well, there you have it. They're all in traps now for this 12th race, the Pick 4 Jackpot A1 550. In 1 is Jetstream Emma, 2 is Jazz Toes, 3 Tinryland Boy, 4 Burgess Glengar, 5 Boharash Teddy, and out in 6 Myola Shamrogue. The hare coming up behind traps. Racing, good start by Trap 1 up the inside. Jetstream Emma and 2 Jazz Toes in the middle of the track. 4 Burgess Glengar showing pace as is 3 Tinryland Boy, but on the bend, and it is 2 Jazz Toes from 3 Tinryland Boy. 4 Burgess Glengar checks up at that point. Out front it's 2 Jazz Toes, 3 in second Tinryland Boy. Burgess Glengar trying his best to bridge the gap, further gap to 1 Jetstream Emma and 6 Moyola Shamrock, but out front and it's 2 Jazz Toes leads off the final turn. 3 Tinryland Boy and 4 Burgess Glengar to the line. 2 Jazz Toes will get there. Second is 4 Burgess Glengar, and back in third is 3 Tinryland Boy. The winning time 29.91.
Yes, congratulations to the Big Bus Syndicate and Peter Cronin. A very likeable performance there from Jazz Toes. Quickly away and made all. Let's have a look at it. She broke smartly enough from Trap 2. Trap 1 was never really going to have much early pace at 750 runner, but she gets herself clear into the bend there, Jazz Toes. As Ian alluded to, she has good early pace, not the strongest of stairs. She just held on. Down the back straight, Tinryland Boy, for those poor farmers, tried to challenge, just switches to the outside there. In behind we have Burgess Glengar and Moyola Shamrock showed good pace down the far side, but Jazz Toes straightens up for home, just over a length clear. It looked as though Tinryland Boy was going to make a challenge, but she just pulled out enough to win. She won a length and a half at the line. Burgess Glengar running on well in second. Moyola Shamrock ran well back in fourth place, I think it was. Better days for him to come, I'm sure. Ian, we were a bit unlucky there with Burgess Glengar, but Jazz Toes, no doubt she was a deserving winner.
Showing signs of his inexperience. Was in a nice pitch off the second bend, got a bit lost. I'm going to have to answer this. We'll get the result into the screen, but we'll be back in a moment.
Yeah, no problem, Ian. As I say, yeah, good win for Jazz Toes. She's quite an impressive strike rate on her card. That's her 22nd race, and that's her 9th win of her career. So 9 wins from 22. It really is a promising start to her career. She's now racked up over €4,000 in prize money for the Big Bus Syndicate. It's an awful pity the Big Bus Syndicate can't be here with us tonight, but we do have a few owners back into the stadium tonight, not in the building, but owners are allowed over on track side. So look, hopefully we are getting back to some sort of normality. Ian, have you got a chance to have a look at that replay just yet?
Not in great detail, but we did know that Jazz Toes had the early speed to take advantage of the longer run to the corner. That's exactly what he did. I did say he was susceptible in the closing yards, but once he gets to the front, the son of Taylor Sky and Yahoo Perlina, what a special lady she was, Yahoo Perlina. She ran, he ran very well. Jazz Toes, he has good early speed, we saw that, great pace. As I said, Burgess Glengar just did get held up off that second bend, but did show plenty of pace and power and was coming right back in the closing yards, and I'm absolutely certain in fact that he'll be opening his accounts very soon. Unfortunately no money for the IRGT tonight, Barry, but I'll tell you what, we'll go again next week. We'll pick one each next week.
Well indeed, Dean, and hopefully I win the competition next week. It's 3-2 to you, round 1 to Ian Fortune. Look, we've had some great racing here tonight. Highlight obviously was the final of the Puppy Oaks. We've seen a fabulous performance from Susie Sapphire, winning in 28.44 for the Comerfords and Owen McKenna. You have to say, Frontomani, she was very, very unlucky, but it's becoming a regular team with Frontomani. She does seem to miss the break. She has massive pace, no doubt, and I think maybe a step up to 550 will suit her. Not to say that she won't cause a problem over 525. I'm sure if she doesn't go in season, she will contest the Oaks, and she's definitely one they all have to fear. We've seen some good action down from Limerick, the semi-finals of which will take place next week. But on the rest of the card, we've seen a great performance from Galadriel over 5.75 in 30.96. You won't see too many runs better than 30.76 over 5.75. So those two were the highlight of my evening. Ian, I presume Galadriel and Susie Sapphire were the highlight of your evening too?
Yeah, absolutely. I think they were both very, very impressive. I'm just going to mention Legal Thriller in defeat. I think this fellow could go right to the very top when he learns his game. He showed unbelievable pace tonight, Barry. Cheers,
Ian. Thanks a million. Yeah, it's been a good night's racing. So now, I just want to share something with you. In 1997, the Irish Retired Greyhound Trust was formed, and since then it has been involved in the rehoming of many thousands of Irish Greyhound racing. They post some videos every Wednesday on the Facebook page, Greyhound Wednesday Wisdoms, so be sure to check out our Facebook page every Wednesday. Here's a look at our first VT.
The Irish Retired Greyhound Trust is a registered charity established by Rossy Cornairn in 1997. It will be celebrating its Silver Jubilee in 2022. It was established by Rossy Cornairn to afford owners the opportunity to rehome their greyhounds upon retirement from racing activity. it was imperative that the industry created such a programme so that there would be homes there for greyhounds once they retired. From 2015 to date, approximately 7,000 greyhounds have been rehomed either directly or indirectly through the Irish Retired Greyhound Trust Scheme. 3,600 greyhounds were rehomed directly by the Irish Retired Greyhound Trust, and an additional 3,400 greyhounds were rehomed by private greyhound rehoming organisations. In 2020, approximately 1,800 greyhounds were rehomed through the IRGT or IRGT-assisted rehomings, with 800 greyhounds alone rehomed directly by the Irish Retired Greyhound Trust. This year to date, approximately 280 greyhounds, up as March 21, have been rehomed, and we'll hope to continue that momentum and achieve further records for 2021. And in March 21 alone, 145 greyhounds were rehomed directly by the Retired Greyhound Trust. And look, that's the milestone we have to achieve, and we'll try and match or even better that in future months.
So any owner that is looking to rehome their greyhound will contact the IRGT, and we will put their name on the rehoming list. We look for 3 photos and a short profile to be filled in about their dog. So it just asks a bit more information about the dog's temperament, if they're good with children, with small dogs, any medical issues, and just their general personality. We will then share this information with our rehoming groups. Owners are also required to bring their dog to the vet for their pre-rehoming procedures. So this involves the neutering or spaying, a pet passport, rabies vaccination, 7-in-1, kennel cough, and treatment for flea and worms. All greyhounds have their own different personalities, their different needs, so we will try and ensure that the new greyhound and the new family are a good match. So all greyhounds will have a profile which gives us a better insight into their personality, and we can then see what kind of home that dog would suit. Our care centre would also have a visitor centre, so it gives owners the opportunity to meet the greyhounds, get to know them before bringing home their new pet.
The Irish Retired Greyhound Trust is funded by greyhound owners through a 2% deduction of all win prize money. This amount is then matched by Waikiki Bomber. The Irish Retired Greyhound Trust would organise fundraising events and fundraising initiatives throughout the year. The Irish Retired Greyhound Trust will be in receipt of voluntary donations from industry participants and members of the public. And also, the Retired Greyhound Trust will be the beneficiaries of fundraising initiatives carried out by its industry participants. There are 3 main expenditure items for the Irish Retired Greyhound Trust, and that's veterinary procedures prior to rehoming. These procedures involve neutering, spaying of greyhounds, vaccinations, inoculations, health checks prior to travel, dental treatments, flea, worm and tick treatments. We also support private greyhound rehoming organisations through veterinary assistance as well. There's also transport costs, as the majority of our greyhounds would be rehomed into Europe, 8 countries in Europe. We also have rehomed to US and Canada in the past, and we rehome in Ireland. And the third expenditure item then will be the domestic rehoming incentive, which was set up in July 2019, whereby every private greyhound rehoming organisation in Ireland would receive €100 for finding a home in Ireland for one of our retired greyhounds. It's important that there are greyhounds rehomed here in Ireland, and the more the merrier. The more greyhounds that are on the street, the better chance other people would consider rehoming a retired greyhound.
The owners also have the opportunity to rehome their greyhound through the care centre. So the greyhound would have to be prepared, so have all the pre-rehoming procedures completed, and then they can drop the greyhound to the care centre while they wait for their new home. So the care centre will help the greyhound prepare for their new home. There's a socialisation strategy for each of the greyhounds, which involves hands-on training and spending time in a realistic home environment, all of which will help a greyhound adapt to their new home. The care centre would introduce them to new environments, to the stairs, a hoover, different sounds. So all of these kind of new environment, new homes and sounds that they might see in their new home. So the visitor centre gives new families the opportunity to meet greyhounds in the centre. They can meet greyhounds that they have been matched with, get to know the dogs, and spend time with them before they bring them home. Greyhounds make wonderful pets. They are very docile and easygoing dogs. They do not require a lot of exercise, so 2 20-minute walks a day, and they're very happy to laze around on something soft and comfy. They have a very short, low-maintenance coat, which requires minimal grooming. They also have a very gentle and laid-back personality, which helps them to adapt to their new home.
We rehome in Ireland, we rehome in the UK, 8 jurisdictions in Europe, and we had entered into a rehoming programme with Greyhound Pets of America National prior to the COVID, but unfortunately air freight costs went through the roof, and we have ceased that for the moment, but I'm ambitious, and hopefully we will get back to a point in time when air travel resumes and costs will return to what they were pre-COVID levels, and it's a very ambitious programme with the Americans, and they're very much interested in rehoming retired Irish Greyhounds in US and in Canada.
Anyone that is interested in adopting a Greyhound, they would contact the IRGT. For Irish adopters, we will send them out an application form. It just asks a bit more about the family's background and what kind of dog would suit them. We will ask one of our welfare officers to carry out a welfare inspection. And now at the moment, during the restrictions, we are carrying out virtual home checks. So we look for photos and videos of the home and garden. So once the home check is approved, we will put the person in touch with someone in the care centre who can talk to them about some of the dogs in the centre and who they think would suit.
Any rehoming organisation in Ireland that's involved in rehoming retired greyhounds, they can contact the IRGT via email, that's irgt@grireland.ie, and they can submit proposals or requests for funding towards their veterinary costs, etc. We will assess that the application, and we will make a decision then on whether funding can be provided. In that proposal, if the organisations include their level of activity in relation to greyhound rehomings, also where they source their greyhounds from, and if they can commit to on a monthly basis to keep us updated on their greyhounds in and greyhounds out, it'll give the IRGT a greater understanding of the organisation's activity levels, and we can grant funding then based on receiving a suitable application.
There is no fee for adopting a greyhound through the Irish Retired Greyhound Trust, but all donations are greatly appreciated. If anyone is looking for any information about the IRGT, they can visit our Facebook page. We share videos and photos of retired greyhounds. We follow up with some of the dogs that we have helped to rehome, and we also share some of the promotional campaigns that we are running at the moment. So at the moment we have a van stickers campaign where we ask individuals to brand their van with some graphics promoting greyhounds as pets. So there's owners and trainers from the greyhound industry all over the country that have branded their vans. These vans would be travelling the length and breadth of the country, so they can be spotted by everybody when they are travelling to trials and races. So there's great exposure for promoting greyhounds. We also have window stickers that you can put onto any vehicle. So all of these promotional campaigns, videos and photos, they're all just trying to dispel any myths out there that people still have about greyhounds, and just to really get the message out there that greyhounds make wonderful pets. Contact the IRGT by calling 061 448 089 or emailing the IRGT@grireland.ie. You can also contact our IRGT Facebook page.